It was Janus in the supply closet with the moth. It was Janus trying to kill his father and stopped it. Ooh. All right. On that note, shall we?
We shall
Excellent.
continue.
I think we shall before I start suspecting Janus's dad.
It was very clearly Janus this whole time.
No pressure, guys.
Yeah, that's what a criminal would say.
Right. So Miss Cotta was going to head over to Darwin.
Darwin, yep.
Yes.
I believe we're all following you to the garden.
Yes,
Not to the garden. I'm going to Darwin.
Darwin in the
I
garden.
thought he was in the garden.
He actually had just popped into the room. He went over to scoop. Actually, he's like, no one has left, like you said.
Ah, thank you.
I appreciate
believe
that.
I believe young Miss Cotta has some questions for you. As I flip over a fresh page and put tap my quill to my tongue and get ready to write.
Darwin, dear.
Yes.
Now, would you be willing to tell me where you found the parsley
It was
for tonight?
in the shipment, like they usually are.
Which shipment?
We every season we get fresh stuff shipped in to grow.
Yes, I haven't. This is like the first time I remember you pulling out all of the herbs and stuff. But was it a regular supplier or?
Yeah.
Would you be willing? Would you be willing to help us out in the garden? It's just there might have been something up with the food, and we want to make sure that none of the guests could get hurt as well.
Yep, I can help.
Oh, that would be absolutely lovely.
So you go out to the garden.
The garden.
Yes.
It's pitch dark.
Yeah, it is very dark outside.
Miss Cotta's eyes
The
are just
sun
like,
has definitely gone
Yes.
down, and there are dark storm clouds. You can hear the distant
Oh,
rumble of thunder.
dear. Oh dear. Well, where are the herbs being kept, dear?
Over this way. And he takes you over to the herb garden. He's carrying a lantern to light the way for those who don't have dark vision, like himself.
Much appreciated.
I'm staying ahead of the light because I think that would be quite rough on my eyes.
Yes. Yeah, so he leads you to like the vegetable and herb garden, away from the hedges and trees and flowers and whatnot, the decorative side of the garden.
Does the herb garden look like it's been touched recently?
Roll an investigation. Anyone can roll an investigation if they wish.
Yeah, group investigation.
In fact,
And
Darwin will roll.
I would also like to make that investigation, but I would like to specifically try to ascertain like what this plant is.
Yep. So what did everyone get?
That's our roll.
19.
Holy.
I can only contribute a 12 to that.
25.
On self-reflection, I realize I know nothing about plants.
Yeah, I suppose that would make sense because you weren't in the kitchen when we figured out. Also,
he was
what
sort of
things were-
he was kind of informed by Robin though, so. Yes.
You know, we're looking for herbs.
So,
Well, we
what
are
you
saying
all?
Right to the herb garden.
So Darwin, yeah, Darwin is like, sorry. You notice that there is some disturbance in like the dirt path, basically. There are some footprints in this like around here, and basically what seems to have happened is there is like a sort of medicinal section to the herb garden and a edible section to the herb garden, sort of thing. And you see that two plaques, one in each section, seem to not
I've
match.
gotten-
So
Yeah, I
there's
was about to
one that
say.
says parsley, but in the medicinal section, and then there's one that says dragonthorn in the edible section. And Darwin's like,
Oh dear.
that's not right.
No, it's not.
Those are switched.
Those are definitely switched. Those have definitely been switched, and the chef wouldn't know that.
And pray tell, Mr. Groundskeeper,
Yes.
these different herbs and the switching of signs, are any of these somewhat fatal when combined with other things?
I'm not sure. You'd have to ask an alchemist.
Hmm.
I
I
look towards.
glance over to Janus.
Huh?
Sorry, you were saying? Accountant?
Actually, yeah, I was gonna look to the maid.
Who looks towards Janus?
With that, I will also look towards Janus.
Who looks
You-
towards Scoop?
And
I
Scoop, for
also
his
look
part,
towards.
has-
Scoop.
Scoop for his part has pulled out a magnifying glass. Is just looking up and down the road.
Yeah. So you can tell that this dragonthorn is what was
Yes.
mistakenly used
Yes.
as parsley in the
Yep.
spinach puffs.
What do I know about Dragonthorn? Or
That
is it just that it's
that-
part
it's
of
as I said earlier, sort of thing. It's that the leaves do look very similar to parsley. Can easily be mistaken for that, and it is, it is that plant that is deadly when combined with
Yes.
other things, such as the Stygian snow drug.
Is it common to be able to get it? Or is it
Um,
a fairly rare herb? Like,
it's
knowing
kind of
plants.
rare. It's not
Alright.
it's not like something you'd see in many gardens. It's usually just alchemists that have it.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Mr. Sanguis, being an accomplished artificer and alchemist, he probably
Would know,
grows
yeah.
a few.
Yeah. Okay. I do think that Miss Cotta, who has seen the accountant look at her, she had looked at Janus, and Janus has looked at Scoop, just sighs. And as Scoop is doing the big investigation, looks down. Do we see any big footprints, or any sort of? There were. It's been picking at my mind all day. Someone dragged mud in earlier this morning, and it wasn't Darwin.
Well, the cook looked pretty big. He was a big guy.
But the footprints were. Did the footprints have shoes? Actually, that's a good question.
They didn't seem to.
They
Like-
didn't see. They
like,
seemed
they just-
to have shoes.
They seem just kind of flat.
I have a question.
Yes.
Could I make a note, or perhaps look for and make a note of any and all footprints that are around this, fresh footprints that are around this garden that are not our own?
Yes.
Hmm.
I would also like to check my shoes for mud.
Yeah, the dirt around the in this garden, like there's no sort of path. It's just dirt, and there was definitely footprints there before you guys arrived.
Mm.
Large ones, sort of between the two signs that have been switched.
They're larger than. Are they larger than Darwin's footprints?
Slightly, yes.
Okay.
Interesting. I'll make note of the footprints in this area, like the large footprints, and perhaps if there's by any chance any like distinguishing like pattern, I'll
Or like a shoe print kind of thing, where it's got the
oh my
Nike
God,
tape.
I need to check something.
I don't
The-
know. We don't know what kind of kicks this dude's got.
Yeah, it says Andy written in the ground actually, but it's spelled
Totally.
backwards.
The entire thing was a Toy Story gone wrong all along, except it's a construct. Oh man.
Wow.
Actually, I want to play the hell out of that.
All right, Seb, wrap this game up. We got a new one.
Okay.
I,
Well, then, yeah, no, you guys just so you don't decide to solve the murder. Well, let's go to Pixar Land.
This case is unsolvable.
Yeah.
It's not
Who
called
cares?
a Toy Story, it's called a construct story.
A war forged, if you will.
A war forged.
No, that's
Fucker.
Construct Story 3, A War Forged.
No,
Oh,
no,
man.
Oh man.
No,
Anyway.
what's that? What's that
While I
movie?
ponder
That
these
tiny...
things, I'd like to quickly
small
look back
soldiers?
to the maid
Yes, can I
After-
help you?
after inspecting their
Um,
shoes and ensuring they're clean.
Can I help you, Mr. Accountant?
Yes. I have myself a suspicion, you see.
Yes.
I will ask you this. 2 questions. The first, are you more of a polite socialite type? Or are you more of a direct and informal type?
I gesture around to the empty garden we're in.
Well, that's a very difficult question to answer specifically because am I at work or am I not?
Unless you are a murder investigator, I suspect not.
Well, a maid's work is never done.
In that case, I will be polite about this. You have caught my eye on multiple occasions this evening on manners behaving in which are less traditionally maid-like. Unless they
Sir, I'm
train
not
you.
allowed to have associations with any of the guests. It's against company policy.
Unfortunate, but nevertheless, you seem to know more about this than I do, having led us out to a garden for seemingly no reason.
It was for no reason. We went into the kitchen, and then Kit said that the parsley was used, and if the parsley was used in the thing, and it looked like this, I know many herbs because of the way I grew up.
And this herb is somewhat dangerous, you suspect.
Well, medicinal herbs, if ingested wrong, can cause people to have bad reactions. I didn't know that the master was any kind of user of recreational items, as it were. I'm just the maid. I just clean. But the master is also the one paying me, and also the one in charge of all of the stuff. And if anyone here gets hurt, like Nate, or Darvin here, well, I'm semi-responsible for making sure everyone here is safe.
Understandable, but unfortunately, the late Mr. Sanguis will no longer be your employer.
Yes, I'll have to talk to Ms. Sanguis about it, I guess. Hopefully she'll keep me employed. We haven't got many other cleaners.
Yes, that too does seem strange, doesn't it?
Yes, trust me. I would appreciate more help.
Very well. So,
You have a
if
second question?
No, that was more or less the second question, which then leaves us, if I understand correctly, the kit cook, I believe, has used a medicinal herb where a normal herb was required, and if our enthusiastic rabbit hunting friend is to be correct, something is being combined within that drink. Between these two concoctions, an unfortunate terminal reaction has taken place within our late
Indeed.
host.
Indeed.
And these footprints, they trouble you. This is more than a careless accident, you suspect.
Well, I originally, and I'm really sorry about this, Darvin. I give him a pat. I originally suspected Darvin had brought in the mud into the house again, but it didn't. it wasn't that. So I spent most of the morning cleaning it all up, but it went into the house.
And that
And-
was in the morning, you said.
That was before everyone arrived, yes. So whatever did it was there, but Kit said they arrived at midday, which by that point, I don't know actually what time did everyone arrive?
Late afternoon, evening. Like the
Alright.
party sort of started as the sun set.
Understood. So in that case, Kit arrived sometime midday, according to them.
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
The exception to that, of course, would be the host, his wife, and Qian,
Yes.
who arrived early
Yes.
to discuss business stuff.
Right. So before everyone else arrived, it was Qian. It was Master Qian, Master Sanguis, and the mistress, and the staff were here, unless somebody else came. Is the only thing, because I didn't recognize the footprints, right? Because if I've been cleaning up everyone's footprints, I feel like I would have.
Yeah,
probably.
like you didn't. They just seemed like
Yeah.
you suspected Darwin because they were particularly large. Like they wouldn't have been
Yes.
anyone else
Yes.
that you know.
They were quite large and they were quite heavy set. Because they really smooshed it into the grout.
Good question, Mr. Scoop. Based on the gate of this step, do your findings corroborate what this here maid has determined?
My name is Miss Cotta, by the way, if you would prefer to use something other than the maid.
Thank
The help
you.
is alright, though.
I was
Well,
worried
he
I had
does-
done something to offend you earlier, but I can see that I was simply misheard. Miss Cotter, a pleasure.
Pleasure, Mr. Accountant.
Could I make some sort of intelligence-based check to
Yeah,
discern if this...
give an investigation.
Alrighty.
So far, no one matches the description you have put forward based on these steps, which does make me question whether they are here for us to find, or whether they were here for another purpose.
Indeed.
That would be a 17.
17. Yeah.
Magnifying glass is great.
Woo!
These large footprints that don't seem to have a tread. Like they're just sort of flat.
No tread.
And they do seem pretty heavy set. It looks like, and the gate would imply, a build probably close to that of a Goliath, like tall, and yeah, tall and heavy.
I have an idea, but I don't know if Miss Cotta would. So I'm wondering if I should say it. Has Miss Cotta heard in the last few months anything coming from the workshop that would imply something large?
Probably. Like there's a lot of.
There's a lot of banging and crashing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Artificer's workshop. There's a lot of noises that come from there, to the point that they tried to because the workshop is located in the house, sort of in the basement, sort of under the stairs.
Is there any other exits in case of emergency, or is it the one door? Would I be aware of that?
You don't know of any other exits. You just know of the
Alright.
one entrance, which is just located under the stairs.
Alright. I turn to the rest of everyone else here. Darden, thank you so much for your help. If you could make sure that everyone has refreshments, can you check on Nate? He looked a little bit pale.
I can.
Than usual.
While you guys have been talking, he's like put the signs back in the right places.
Much appreciated. Actually, additional thing. Are there any dents or anything in the signs that indicate like something has gripped it with much force, or has is there any sort of remnants of stuff on them? ? Question mark. I say with my 120 feet of dark vision.
Doesn't seem to be like any like residue or any like remnants of anything that you can
Understood.
Master Scoots, you appear to be thinking of something. What is it?
I have an idea. I would like to go up to the signs and pull out a piece of chalk from my pocket.
Okay.
And rubbing the piece of chalk for a bit in my hands, I'm going to blow the dust onto the signs.
Yeah.
Try to get some
True investigative work.
And then I look it over with my magnifying glass to see if I can discern any fingerprints upon its surface.
Fair enough. Give me an investigation.
This is that new form of crime solving I've heard about, isn't it? Something to do with matching an individual to their hand shape or something along those lines, I believe.
That you are.
This Cotta makes
I'm
a
going
note
to use
of
my
this.
inspiration for this one.
Yeah.
Hey.
Holy! That was
What?
lucky.
Yeah. Apparently.
I'm glad
what?
I said that beforehand. So with the inspirations giving me advantage, that's
Yes.
a 19 as opposed to a natural 1, which was what the first die rolled.
Very nice.
So close.
What's the total?
So
19?
Total of 19.
the only fingerprints you find on there, I guess you cross-reference these, but you only see the one set, and they seem so fresh that they were probably done in the last minute when Darwin switched those signs. There are
Might be doing
no other fingerprints.
Okay. I have
If
an
anything,
idea.
that's awfully suspicious.
Yes, no, I have an idea. I would either say we should probably head back to the kitchen if Kit knows anything about the stuff, or the one place we haven't really checked is Lord Sanguis's workshop. Though we don't have the key, so we'll need to go back upstairs.
Yep.
Alright.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah. We were talking about mixing the evil parsley with the
Dragon
snow.
fungus.
Yes.
Yes.
We know that Lord Sanguis was going skiing. I wonder who else knows. Oh,
An interesting question, young master.
I don't think that's something. If the effects are as obvious or as lingering, the person who would know him best would be the mistress.
I'm gonna look towards Janus, and I'm gonna ask him a question.
Dun dun dun.
Young master, I'm going to be very frank with you in this exact moment. There is the possibility that your father, either knowingly or unknowingly, is somehow involved in this. And I would like to know what your opinions on that may be before we progress any further. I do not wish to tear you between two masters or anything of the sort, one being justice, the other your father, of course.
Well, my father's not very interesting. I don't think he would do it. But our guards have been having a problem with Stygian snow. It's been trafficked around our neck of the woods as well. I overheard some of the guards talking when I was out training.
I just want you to be prepared for any difficult conversations you may need to have. Of course, I would follow your lead, being your father, you know him best. But just bear that in mind as a possible future ahead of us. Of course, I do agree with Miss Cotter. in that the widow may be a good point of contact to see if she knew anything about her late husband's dealings.
That's a fair question. Cosmo, where was my father prior to the trip?
What do you mean?
Because we arrived pretty much on time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was
Oh.
Lord Amberwood around the house primarily, getting prepared like the rest of us? Did he go off on some other business? Was he in his office or something?
He was primarily like immediately before the trip. He was getting ready with you and your mother. But he was probably attending business, like off in the city, before like in the morning.
Huh. Dad was off on his usual business trip in the morning. Just pauses for a few moments. Yeah.
You're meeting with council members and the like. Or so you've been told.
You,
I don't think my dad would know about this Stygian snow that Mr. Sanguis was using. You can see the alcohol's really starting to mess with him now.
Oh dear.
do not think too heavily of it, young master. Businessmen often do business first thing in the morning, and it is merely just a waste of time and paper, not inherently something suspicious. However, you yourself seem to know about Stygian snow to some degree, so I would not put it past your father to know at least as much as you do. That's enough
That
of the
makes
such
sense.
matters. Perhaps we should go talk to the widow at this point. It is rather fresh outside, and that storm is getting awfully close.
Darvin, before you head inside, would you be willing to put up a tarp over the footprints just to make sure that we can keep them?
Yep, I can do that.
Thank you. I know this is probably pretty shaky, but you're doing a very good job. Alright?
Thank you.
And don't worry, we'll find out who messed with your garden.
Please.
So,
made it
which
fun.
way first? Are we heading towards the...
Well, with all due, I do have a pre-existing relationship with Mr. Chien. Perhaps if myself and Janus nod towards him question, kind of like approval. I say perhaps we could speak with him, and Miss Cotter, you seem a lot more civil in tongue. Talking to Miss Sanguis could perhaps be beneficial. Some
I
find
think-
her intimidating, you see.
Oh, really? You're not
Sometimes
that
me
scary at all?
intimidating too.
It is the orcish way.
Well, a person should be judged on the way they look. They should be judged by their actions. And you look fine, to me, as far as I can tell.
Very
It's not a
upsetting
lie.
gentleman.
Thank you very much, Miss Cotter. I appreciate your respect.
I don't ship it, I don't ship it, I don't ship it.
You can if you want. I'm me being like, yes, but Miss Cotta being like, look, mate, I'll just
Just work here.
If you had one shot.
One opportunity.
would you take it?
We've got a regular
Anyway.
Jeffrey over here, lord of the shipping industry.
Alright, so I guess we're heading...
Oh my gosh, he's just running like nothing but fan goods for like all of the fan art. He's getting them printed up stuff.
Yeah, his shipping
Where
and
are the goods?
distribution is just.
That's it. It's a shipping industry.
Oh,
Yes. Anyway, well, given how much I've seen people drop on fan products, it would not surprise me. Anyway, long story
Lucrative
short, back. Miss Kotta is going to be like, well, if we are going to be doing so, I think I need to go back to the kitchen anyway. And she's going to head back to the kitchen because the one thing that Ms. Sanguis that makes her happy and calm is the secret desserts that we always keep in the back of the fridge, specifically for when she's upset or when she's having moments. And so I'm going to make her that, and I'm going to make her favorite blueberry tea very quickly.
Lovely.
And with as much skill as possible. Bring that on a tray. Turn to the you who have come with, and then Kit is in this kitchen as well, I'm assuming.
Yes. Kitchen, not ballroom.
No.
Correct.
And we have Kit.
This we'll need 2 sugars, but not the usual sugars. We'll need the coconut sugars because she doesn't like the idea of eating cake plus other sugar on a diet.
Look towards the chef person. I believe they're still in here.
Yes, this is Kit Chen.
Pleasure to meet you, Kit. Is
Hello,
there
Master.
any brandy or scotch kept in this kitchen for cooking purposes?
Yes, I have some cooking brandy.
May you pass it over to me, please?
He hands it over. Here you go.
Thank you.
I hope I'm doing Kit's voice justice.
It's fine.
It's so great. It's so great to see Kit.
I'm gonna. Scoop's gonna walk up to Kit. Kit, perhaps, if it's not too much trouble, could
Yes.
I perhaps ask you to lift the underside of your shoes so that I may have a look?
Of course. He lifts up his shoes.
I'm gonna inspect them and see how they compare to my notes about the footprints in the garden.
Fair enough. For one thing, they definitely seem smaller. And he is wearing like practical shoes, but they do have like a sole to them. There is like a rubber grip. It's not. There's not heaps of detail, but there is like there's like a significant cleft, I guess, sort of where like there's the heel part and then the rest of the sole, sort of.
Thank you for indulging me.
No worries, my pleasure.
Well, we shall make our leave. Don't leave town.
I had no plans to.
Kit, may I ask, you were hired today, right? Or
Yes.
you were called in by Master Sanguis. Where did you get hired from?
The Chef's Guild in Arcpoint. I've been working there for a few months now.
I understand. I was just wondering what time roughly did the call come through?
It was quite early in the morning. It takes a few hours to get out this way.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that you came here. Thank you so much.
And,
No worries.
sorry, Mr. Kit, apologies for interrupting, Miss Carr. Do you happen to know who called you by chance?
It was I was just told by the guildmaster.
Of course. Thank you.
You already put that in my notes under.
And
I hope the start like your notebook literally is like and then and then but with a question mark at the end.
And then
So it's like these
Rabbits?
are how sure I am on these facts.
Like a wizard's spellbook, it's written in code.
Alright. Oh, I would also say that the entire it's like as we are heading towards upstairs, it's going to carry the tray. She's going to pass her broom.
yes.
She's going to pass her broom. Yeah. I'm going to pass my broom over to Janus. It's like, Janus, would you be willing to keep could you hold this for me? I need both hands for the tray.
Are you sure?
Oh yes, no. Well, unless you're planning on carrying the tray, but I don't think you come in with the tray is going to look quite right potentially if it's me, especially given you're a guest. Oh, I shouldn't be asking you to do that. You're a guest.
Sorry
I'm
about
so
that.
sorry. Would you be willing? But it would be really helpful if you'd be willing to carry it just for a minute, just while I have my hands full.
Okay, just for a minute. And he kind of takes it and clutches it.
It's a little heavier than you originally anticipated.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Seems to be a bit of
Wait.
weight to it. Like it's particularly hard wood.
Does he visibly react to that? Would you say?
At 16 strength, probably not.
All right, cool.
He's a
Miss
strapping young
takes-
lad.
He's a strapping young lad. Miss Cotta takes her the tray and heads up towards. I'm assuming you guys are right behind, or unless there's other things you're planning on doing.
No, right behind.
The top.
Figure
I'm going with
if
this
Sorry.
because I don't have a bedroom back
No,
there.
yours.
So
That's fair.
Mhm.
as we get to the door, I'll say, I thought it might be better if I asked Mr. Chen to speak with us out here, that you may have some privacy with the new master of the house, as it were.
Well, they always shared the responsibility equally, so
Otherwise, we can all come in.
I
I'll
think
follow your lead.
I think it will be fine. I would like, before we enter the room, I think I would like to listen and see if I'm hearing any conversations.
Sure. Give me perception roll.
Oh, wow, I is not wise. Oh, doesn't matter. That's a insert word here that means non-natural 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. The
That is-
nastiest. The muddiest of 20s.
Filthy.
What kind of mud? Does it match the ones outside?
Oh god. It was the dice.
It was a dice all along.
Giant dice.
Giant
Yeah.
dice.
Yeah, as you sort of listen outside the room, you hear Bonnie is definitely distraught, and Chien is trying to console her. He's just like, now, dear. I don't know how this could happen, but who would do such a thing? He was such a good man. He never would have hurt a fly. I'm sure they will find who did it. Justice will come to them.
Right,
She just sort of
all
cries.
right, as I hear that, I did the tap, 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 tap.
Come in.
It's just me, milady. I'm here with some. I thought you could use some tea to calm yourself down.
Oh, Miss Cotta. Thank you, my dear. You always know. Yes, please bring the tea.
It's blueberry, your favorite.
You're always good
no
for me like
worries.
that. And she takes
I have to be attentive. It's maid's work to be very attentive if I can be. Are you doing all right?
No.
No. I'm sorry. That was a horrible question to ask. You're not doing all right at all, are you? I offer my arms out if she looks like she needs a hug.
Oh, she takes the hug. She just like buries her head into your frock.
It's like, as I hold her, I'm going
just
to look
sobs.
over shoulder, and go, sorry, Mr. Chien, there's one of the other guests was asking for you. Would you be willing to pop outside for a minute while I've got her?
Yeah, no worries. And he goes to pop outside.
And we just quickly confirm who's in which room, sorry?
Okay, so the players, because currently in the bedroom is Bonnie and Miss Cotta, and the body of Mr. Sanguis. Is anyone else in that room?
I will wait outside for Mr. Chien.
Yep. Yeah, Mr.
Janus,
Chien
want
is
to wait with
currently
me?
leaving.
I'm kind of waiting outside with the broom.
Oh yes, I would also say that it's just like I would probably also say, so it's like, I know I know you're probably not up for it, but would you be willing to talk to the inspector? They look like they've got some questions. Is that all right? Or would you like me to send them away?
No, that's.
Or would you like to talk to me first and be a bit in between? Whatever you need.
If you go here, it should be fine.
All right. I call out. I'm like, Investigator Scoop, sir. There's she's willing to see you. And I pour the tea. There is exactly 2 cups, so because I prepped one for Scoop as well. Surprise with the guess that somebody would be coming in. Wasn't actually for Scoop. Anticipated. There is a little small plate of cookies and gingerbread just hanging out also there, just to put onto the side.
Lovely.
And I would say, while they have their investigation, I am going to be. Unless she needs, when they get really into it, Miss Cotta is probably going to be. I'm just going to make sure that the muster's neatened up. We don't want anything, especially once people from hospitals get around here.
Yeah.
Because I want to get the key to the room.
Yep. Yeah, she dabs her eyes with like a handkerchief. She's like, of course, thank you.
No worries, I've got you. All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna go do that.
Okay. Either a
Scoot
stealth.
first because he's already there. Oh,
Yeah, I was just gonna say for getting the key. Actually, no. If Scoop is distracting her, I'd say you can probably find it pretty easily.
Yay!
Just in his pocket.
It would probably be one of the few keys I don't recognize, right? Because I have to clean all of the rooms.
Yeah, you basically have the keys to everywhere, but
except
the workshop. Yeah. It is on its.
I really picked the right character for this game.
Yeah.
It's because Nate keeps losing them.
So either Scoop, do you want to interview the lady, or do we want to cut to Tishan and the accountant?
Happy for you to lead.
Let's go. Let's go with the accountant. I'm not sure what Scoop is.
No, I'm good. I just
Forgot you were on mute.
Am I on mute?
You
No,
are.
you are.
You're talking. You're good.
No, I was just freaking out on mute because as I see in the background Miss Cotta go and find the key, Scoot realizes suddenly, I was about to ask about that. Probably best I shouldn't. What do I talk about? Miss.
Like, you're the private investigator. Yes.
Flipping through his notes. Nice weather we're looks at the window, sees the storm. So
there are
could
snacks
I
if
see
you
the
need.
underside of your shoe? No, probably this.
What?
Well, you see, man. By any chance, have you, I don't know, been gardening recently?
No, the Darwin takes care of the garden. Why are you asking about the garden? My husband is dead.
I'm terribly sorry. Terribly sorry. As I see Miss Cotta leave.
I'm not leaving. Got the tea. And it's like I'm just like, would you like some more tea, ma'am? And I look at you. Ask about. Like I'm mouthing the equivalent of like. Keep it. I'll ask about the guests. Any enemies?
Do you have any? I mean, do you have any enemies? I mean, does your husband have any enemies?
I'm not sure about enemies. I know him and Mr. Big Boss never really saw eye to eye. My husband definitely disapproved of the slave trade.
Rightfully so.
No, I definitely agree. I wouldn't rather have that man not been invited, but I mean, I guess there was some people on the council who didn't really see eye to eye with him, but I can't imagine any of them would want him dead.
Well,
I put a steadying hand on her shoulder as she talks.
She like
This
reaches up and sort of like holds, like interlocks her fingers.
Mhm.
So this of the other guests, what are your your friend what was his name? Chien? Is he an old friend of the family or a business partner?
He's he was sorry. Yeah, he's business partners with Malvi. He sort of runs the business side of things while Malvi was the ideas man. He made the inventions and came up with everything. And we had a relationship sort of. Do you know what polyamory is?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. So, I was in a relationship with both of them.
No.
Okay.
Well, that explains all of the 3 classes that you always insisted on. I'm very happy for you, but I'm also unhappy for you, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
The like, I guess last questions would be: how would you describe the other guests that have arrived tonight? Those being the 2 that come to mind would be the dwarven Robin. What was their name?
I mean, Robin's. I've not really had much. They seem like a deer. Like they were cheerful and friendly too. I think Malvi and Robin were discussing alchemy stuff. It went over my head a bit.
Is there anything words that you kind of picked up there, though? You're smarter than you should give yourself credit.
Thank you, my dear. No, it's just the regular sort of business things they were talking. Like cultivating various herbs and the way to. I think there was something about transmutation. Not 100% sure what that was about.
Oh, I'm afraid I know very little about that sort of thing, but Master was always wonderful with their work.
Oh,
was there
such a brilliant man.
Yes. Did you have any idea what they were working on beforehand?
Not 100%. He always liked.
No.
He always loved the keep it a big secret
The
till
showman.
he'd figured it all out, sort of thing. Like.
Indeed.
This might be a bit impersonal, a bit personal, and but I assure you, it very well might be integral to the case. But I hate to put you in the position, and I assure you, while I am presiding over this case, I am not technically speaking law enforcement. Thus, I have no legal obligation to enforce the fullest extent of the crime of the law, and everything you say cannot be used. I promise anything you say I will not use to I don't quite know how to put this subtly.
He knows how to keep a secret, man.
Yes. In the course of our investigation, we have uncovered that perhaps your husband has proclivities for a certain substance. Is this at all familiar to you?
Yes. He would use he would use that. He said it helped him think when he was working.
I see.
When has this been for a long time?
Yes and no. Like he would. It was one of those things. It wasn't all the time. It was like he only wanted it for the big projects, like the really important ones.
Right.
So, like,
Was this one so important then? It sounded like it was a big deal.
it seemed so.
Alright.
He was very excited about it. I know Chien was saying that like with this they'd make it big, like make even. I mean, we're already rich, but like apparently this was gonna be leagues above that again.
You happen to know if he used just before the party or very recently?
I mean, he was in his workshop. It's probably likely.
Alright.
Thank you.
No worries.
Is there anything else I can get for you? Warm
No.
pillow?
You've done enough. Thank you, my dear.
Do you want us to bring back in Master Chien after this?
That would be good. I could use him.
Alright. We've got you, alright?
Alright.
And
So,
I lean in. I remembered to make sure that it's coconut sugar in your tea.
Bless you.
I know it'll help. Also, and Miss Cotta, as Scroop is leaving, Miss Cotta digs into her pocket and she finds a mixture of chamomile, a couple of different herbs that help promote sleep.
Yeah.
And de-stress that she totally uses to help sleep, and for no other reasons. And puts it goes like, if you boil this down with the tea, just a very small amount, it'll help. It puts you to sleep tonight, but only use it when you're going to sleep, alright?
Okay.
Too much and it might knock you out. It helps me with nightmares sometimes.
Thank you.
No worries.
As Scoop is leaving, he mutters in a manner that's sort of directed towards her, but in a tone that is, or a hushed tone that is barely legible. Don't leave town.
She doesn't seem to hear it.
On the other
Well,
side of the
that's-
door, there is...
Meanwhile, during all this conversation, yes.
Ah, Mr. Chien, we meet once again.
I think I've-
Myself and the young Master Janus would like to borrow a moment of your time while our comrades speak with the, unfortunately now widowed Miss Sanguis.
Yes, okay. Pretty sure I've told you what you wanted to hear.
Of course, this is, I assure you, purely a matter relating to the events of this evening.
I see. What do you want to know?
Firstly, if you don't mind, Master Janus.
Oh, right. Yes. So, we
Please.
know, and we know you know. So we want to know who you know knows. And he says, it's like pointing and sort of swaying.
Allow me to offer
Why
some
are you having me
context to
talk
my
to this
colleagues.
drunk child? What is this?
I would choose your words very carefully when it comes to the son of his lordship who rules over this fair and great city. But not to add context to my colleague's statement, what we have found out is your business partner was very likely partaking in some less so legal activities in his recreational time. What of this do you
Oh,
know?
you mean the snow? Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he would snort that stuff while working just to, I don't know, make his brain go faster or something. I'd never understood it. I'd never touched the stuff myself, but I mean, the man was a mad genius. It worked for him.
Of course,
Yeah,
if it works, it
that's
works.
that's fine. Look, mad respect. whoever did this knew about it. And
Where
we
did
want to
he-
know
Why do you think that?
who else knew. Mr. Accountant, sir, you're better with words than I am.
No worries. So I suppose the first question there is: are you aware of how Mr. Sanguis formally acquired this snow? It is not the most simple thing to get a hold of in a subtle fashion.
No. I mean, I think for this project, I think he actually got Bonnie to pick it up for him in the city.
Of course.
He was too busy
And-
working himself.
As you said, he was a genius. Speaking of Ms. Sanguis, what exactly is the nature of your relationship? I do not mean to imply anything, of course, but you must admit you stand to benefit in this eventuality, do you not, being the sole business partner of the late Mr. Sanguis?
How do I benefit? My business partner is dead. He made everything I sold. Without, like, to be blunt
there are
about
no
it, he
further
was my golden
patents?
goose. He's
I see.
dead.
So there is no further patenting, no selling of other previously made inventions, nothing like that. It was for simply on a piece-by-piece basis, is what I'm understanding from you.
Yeah, basically. He was a great inventor and a terrible businessman, so I helped him with the business side of things.
I see. But again, where does Miss Sanguis fit into that picture? Was she also a part of your business?
I don't mix business and pleasure. She is his wife, was his wife, and my partner. It's a relationship of, trust and respect and informed consent. Yeah.
Of course, so
hard to
all
explain.
parties were. So jealousy is not a motivating factor. That is very important to rule out, Mr. Chian.
Yes, I can see that.
Good, good. Of course, it is within my best interest, just as much as yours, that you are not the, what's the opposite of a victim? Perpetrator of this heinous crime. Although it does put you in a very unfortunate position. Do you know of any enemies that Mr. Sanguis may have had? Any problematic people in his life, perhaps? Roadblocks to his inventions, if you will?
I mean, not really. He was unmatched. The only people he would clash with was, I mean, he was very outspoken against Mr. Big Boss's proclivity for indentured servitude, and I mean, there were some people on the city council. I guess they didn't really see eye to eye, but I don't think anyone would want
City
to kill him.
Council, you say?
Hmm.
And,
See, Mr. Sanguis had a seat on the council, but he tended to skirt his duties by being locked in his lab and whatnot.
Master Janus, your father surely spoke of his irritations. Do you recall at any time if he mentioned any other councilman who seemed to share his position regarding Mr. Sanguis?
I don't recall. I don't look into my father's affairs much. But I don't think my father did this.
No, more so if there was anybody else on the council that he may have been speaking to about such things.
No, I stayed out of my father's business.
Interesting. Well, Mr. Chen, as you seem to benefit in no meaningful way, either romantically or financially, it would be my assumption that you are in fact an innocent party on this.
I do
appreciate that.
have a question,
Please.
actually. Two questions.
You may have three if you need them.
So, my earlier question: who else knew about Mr. Sanguis's, Lord Sanguis's snow habit? If there was anyone else who knew about it.
Not that I know. It was just me and Bonnie.
And you were here earlier in the day than most of the guests. Did you see anyone out of the usual on the manor grounds? Anyone large, heavy set, perhaps?
Good question.
No. I mean, apart from the groundskeeper, no, I don't think I recall anyone like that.
We're
What about
Sorry.
someone wearing really big shoes?
What?
Sorry, just to clarify your statement, where exactly did you see this groundskeeper?
I mean, I see him in the grounds. Like, I can't I don't recall exactly where I saw him. I don't really pay attention to the help.
Of course. Very well. So, someone has unfortunately taken advantage of the late master's recreational activities by the seams of things.
Right.
For your information, and I do not advise that you share this with Miss Sanguis, at least not this time. It's very likely that her husband was in fact poisoned with a combine of some form of herb, a medicinal one from the garden, that was incorrectly labeled as another. Then, when compared with Mr. Sanguis's recreational activities, the ensuing combination has killed him. Have I got that correct, young Master Janus?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I see.
So, with that in context, I'd ask just once more in case your memory is refreshed. This groundskeeper, did you see them anywhere near some herb gardens of sorts, or anything of that nature?
Well, he was the gardener, the Goliath. Remember we
Yes.
checked him?
Yes. Yeah.
But that does
No,
not
yeah.
mean there wasn't another Goliath.
Oh, it was Dave from Darwin or something. Yeah, I totally saw him in the herb garden.
Very well. Interesting.
I think we need to ask the rest of the staff.
Speaking of the rest of the stuff,
You too.
I come out with the door, trayless, with Scoop and Scoop is ahead actually. Scoop would go first.
Yep.
Scoop approaches.
Uh,
I'm assuming
Chien goes back into the bedroom.
before he does, I would like to pause him, because I'd probably be the one that called him out.
Yep.
Mr. Chien, I'm really I apologize for interrupting. I've calmed her down with some blueberry tea. If you need any extra, just give Kit in the kitchen a call. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Also, may I ask, do you know what the Lord was working on?
Yeah. He was trying to mass produce like golems, I think.
I thought so. And is Mr. Big Boss down below? Was he the buyer?
Well, we hadn't settled on a buyer. I was
Who were the potential ones?
we're planning to sell to the Swift Silver Mercs. You know, cheap army. It would have paid well.
But given Mr. Sanguis's abhorrent nature of against slavery, what better than slaves that can't tire, right?
Yeah,
Or
that I guess so. That may be why he was here.
understood. One last thing. Is there anything we should be careful of in if we try to take a look at any? Sorry, let me rephrase my words there. If you weren't planning on selling to Mr. Big Boss, and the mistress seems to not like him much, why is he here?
As I said, Malvoy invited him. I think, like as you pointed out, maybe to convince him to give up the slaves.
Swap slaves. Constructs.
Constructs, yeah.
Understood. And if you were planning on selling to the Silver Sword Mercs? Sorry, Swift Silver Mercs?
Yes.
Who were you going to talk to about that?
Their captain.
My father.
I see. Well, thank you for your help. I really appreciate it. She needs you.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, here's him.
Once the door is closed, I would like to turn and look at the young master for a moment there.
My father's been having dealings with the Swift Silver mercenaries. Apparently, they're quite a lot of trouble. Noisy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'll say now, your father doesn't like the Swift Silver Mercs.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I got the wrong impression.
Alright.
Yeah. He mentioned that they've come into town and caused a ruckus.
You're...
Okay, so I'd like to continue talking to the young master. A conversation is probably going to be need to had, and it will not be a pleasant one. But for your sake, if you would rather, there are other people that we could interview. That's the I word. Interview first. What would you like, young Janus?
I think I want to see the workshop.
Ow.
Sorry, I know that wasn't the question.
No, I just bumped into my broom.
It's quite reasonable. Very well. If everyone else is in agreement, let us check the workshop.
Is he? Mr. Chien said a golem. They were working on mass-produced golems.
Yes.
They'd
very
make pretty
much-
big footprints.
Yes. I very much suspect that somebody here was supposed to buy them, and maybe they didn't want to pay.
That would
Or
perhaps
otherwise.
be the young master's father.
Perhaps.
But
if
there
this
are
is supposed
potential.
Sorry.
But there are other potential suitors as well.
Oh. What is a slave? But
My
a
father's
robot
dealings
that-
with the Swift Silver mercenaries has been less than pleasant. They've been in opposition to each other because of the ruckus and the mess that the mercenaries have been causing around town.
An army for them.
Yeah,
An army for your father.
the Swiss Silver Mercs have caused problems for the city guard, which the Lord does
They're
not
under the
approve of.
Lordship's employ.
Beloved Dungeon Master. Before there was we I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you establish that phones exist in your world, or something equivalent thereof?
No.
Messaging stones, if you will.
I mean, messaging stones, I guess.
Good old sending stones.
Could I use one of my features?
Well,
this will be good.
what feature?
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I'm not gonna say no, so.
Very good. Excuse me for a moment, my friends. I would just like to quickly check on in something.
I'm gonna make my way just a little bit up the corridor. I reach in and pull out a small rock.
Yeah.
And using my criminal contact feature,
Yeah.
I'd like to call someone who might know something about this. And I'll just leave a message so they can get back to me when they get back to me.
Okay.
But
Just quickly say, I've been hearing some things about the Swift Silver mercenary crew. And I would like to know what we know about this before any further things happen. Could you get back to me as soon as is possible? Thank you.
What? Just so I know, what particular stuff are you wondering about?
oh, just kind of like how criminally are they? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, are these like real bad dudes, or are these like we work for money kind of people?
Yeah.
Where do they fit, and how dangerous are they?
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Janus kind of leaning to one side. Shh, he's making a stern call.
Can some? I'm putting a pun in the pun jar.
I give him an inspiration.
We have 41 puns in our pun jar, by the way.
I think we might need to reset that.
I don't know how to.
Fair. I mean, we know we were at 40 at the start here.
Oh yeah, because.
What have I done?
No, I don't know what you're most of these are from when we were doing.
I feel most
crime
of those, like at least 3/4 of those 40 are from the crime brulee stream.
all of the bread puns. So many puns.
The purebred doge.
I still pat myself on the back for that. Anyway, let's
Yes.
just get back to the video.
Yep. I'll
Um,
just give you the information about the Swiss Silver Mercs. They are mercenaries who will do anything for money, sort of thing. Like true privateers, basically.
So they are men without ethics.
They-
morals, principles.
Yeah.
I do
Pretty
not
much.
like them.
Like they will follow the word of their contract, but to the letter sometimes, and if the letter is not very specific, they'll take some matters into their own hands.
Understood. Thank you for your information.
Right. Well, there's
The shop.
the workshop. What?
Sorry, just in the chat,
Mm,
Vorpalrend says, "Oh, his contact is Steve Austin." Because Stone called Steve Austin.
Steve Austin, thank you for that information. It was very integral to this investigation.
Now,
clearly.
it is now canon.
All right. So,
Thank you, Wolverine.
thank you. So, in that regardless to the workshop, I got the key.
You got a key.
I got the only key I didn't bloody have, which means I now have another place I have to clean. We head towards the workshop.
Yes. You unlock the door at the
Dun dun dun.
at the bottom of below the stairs. Like the outside of the door seems to be matching the wall, but like
Very clean.
yeah, the you realize that the door itself is made of pretty solid metal when you go to swing it open.
Yep.
And you see stairs, dimly lit stairs, sort of leading down into
Mm-hmm.
below the floor, down into the basement, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are there handrails down the stairs?
Yes.
Oh no! Oh, thank
Good.
goodness.
There are handrails. And yeah, you make your way to the bottom and flick on the lights.
Tink.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, that's bright.
Yes, it is actually quite bright in here. And-
Carter is very much the same as you. She's just vision in bed. Ow.
Unfortunately, Miss Cotter, this area is a mess. The walls and high ceiling are reinforced with steel beams, some of which have light fixtures attached to them. The shelves, workbenches, crates, and trolleys are all spread out
Everything's
throughout the
covered in
room,
dust. Oh dear.
all of which are just cluttered with tools and materials.
Oh, this hurts. This hurts me so much.
It's beautiful.
You shut that mouth for a hot second.
Seeing Miss Cutter clearly not in the great position, I will offer her at least some of the remaining third of that bottle of brandy.
I'm sorry I can't drink on the job, but I appreciate the thought when I get off shift, maybe.
With all due respect, madam, your employer is dead. You're not on the job.
No. I don't feel like my work is done until my work is done. And it's not done yet.
Very well, I can respect that.
I will drink some more of it myself.
Ship it, don't ship it. Anyway.
I heard that.
What? To finish my description here, in the middle, so in the center of all the chaos, some space has been cleared. There, next to a workbench, stands a handful of golems, seemingly made from a variety of materials and in various states of repair. There's like one that seems to be like fully wooden, but doesn't have a head. There's one it's got no legs, but its torso is like made of stone, but it's got wooden arms and a head.
All right.
There's 3 that are fully intact. 2 of them,
All right.
mostly metal, but seem to have like sort of wooden joints in the limbs. And there's one that's like basically all made of gemstone, like just a
That would be expensive.
dark purple gemstone.
Oh, it matches my hair.
Yeah. So those.
Do I see any sign of snow?
Yes. On the bench next to these golems, you see a bag of white powder, and also a bunch of like notes scrawled in some paper, and like various like some rods and stones of like artificial like artificing
All right. Additional to that, do any of these golems have any things on their feet, like muck or dirt?
Yes. One of these metal golems seems to have some dried mud around the bottom of its feet.
I immediately go over to that one and I poke its chest, being like, "You dragged mud into my bloody house."
Okay, please roll a dexterity saving throw.
That's fine. I knew it was coming. Nat 20!
Yes.
Nice.
I want to imagine that she's just like poke, 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 whatever happens, and then she like dodge, and then poke, and then back off.
Yeah, as you poke it in the chest, it reaches up to like grab your hand, and you just whip it away and poke it again.
My bloody house.
I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Incoming!
All right.
Dude. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
Another nat 20! Oh my god!
And oh,
Alright,
come
Fire
on,
Dice,
really?
What do you got for me?
How are we handling nat 20s in the house?
Rate was 40, call it a day.
Yeah.
uh, you will go first.
Sweet.
Sounds good to me.
I think
It'd be so lovely to
it's-
go first.
okay, I would say that she probably flips back,
One
or
second.
the equivalent of flips back. For dramatic effect, can we say that when
I got a 7.
I got attacked and I poked again, that my glasses fell off?
Oh, yes.
Sweet, awesome.
So your
Ooh, that does
glasses
something.
fell off.
Some benefits.
Did other?
Yes. It'll happen in a second. So once we're all prepped.
Okay.
Our
So
initiatives in the chat.
yeah, throw initiative in the chat.
Did I put
Whoop,
the right chat?
Whoop, whoop. Yep, you did. Oh wait, Steam dice rolls, right? Steam dice rolls.
Yeah,
Dice rolls.
the dice rolls chat.
Oh, buddy. Oh,
Mhm.
buddy. Oh, that's a big oof. That's a big oof.
What do we got?
Do we have battle music going?
I do. Can everyone hear the battle music?
Let's unmute the stream for a bit. Oh yeah, I can hear it.
I can.
Cool.
We're good.
Just don't want it to be too loud. Okay. Yes. So these two golems have awoken and being
Awoken.
very threatening.
Lovely.
Miss Cotter, you will go first.
Miss Clutter, I'm assuming that they stood up and she slipped back, her glasses fell off. She sighs. Absolute fucking useless. Alright. And you see her pull back her hair into a ponytail, and with a twist on the edge of her broom, she brings out her weapon and transforms into her not so true form. At the end of a broom, you see, like, through a combination of, I don't know, awesome artificer stuff, the broom head cracks open to reveal a sharp, angry-looking blade, and she just kind of sighs. Just every single fucking time, everywhere I bloody go, it's another fucking problem. And is going to attempt to waylist. You would, and I don't know if I am more recognizable potentially to the accountant now. But I might be.
Potentially. We'll have him
Yeah.
roll a history check if he wishes.
Oh, that's convenient, because I was going to full-on use my first action to do exactly that. I was just going to stand there and watch this fight and be like, okay, what is this?
Well, we can say that.
Okay.
That's
do you
convenient, so I
wanna do
rolled a
that?
d12 by accident.
Alright, so we'll wait till your turn.
Convenient.
So, Miss Cotter,
Alright.
you have the
Miss
first turn.
Cotter is going to attempt to lay waste at these buddies, and she's going to specifically be aiming for any of the wooden joints.
Yep. Sounds good.
Alright, so the first attack was a 15 to hit.
A 15 does
Yar.
not hit.
Oh, in her anger, in her, as part of the action, you see her, like, pull, like, slightly hitch up her skirt, and on the interior of her skirt, she's just got a whole bundle of knives, and she stabs one into the joint instead.
Yep.
I feel like if he was gonna roll that history check, he should have advantage at that point.
Yep.
That's a 17 to hit.
A 17 does hit.
Cool. With the knife, which is knife die. Hang on. Oh, yay! That is a 7 points of damage on the knife,
Nice.
and
Nice.
I back off. I back off a few steps, and for my bonus action, I put. Sorry, yes.
Isn't your extra
It was
like
not.
the dagger attack?
Nope. It didn't say. It was thrown weapon fighting. It's just part of what I am.
Okay.
With my bonus action, I'd like to do the thing where it's got where I put a layer of poison on the edge of my room for a hot minute.
Okay.
Yar.
Cool.
That's it.
You now have a poison.
You see like a hand. Yes, I have the most danger broom. I like lay over a coat with my hands and like a shimmering gleam of like a purple magic that's very similar to the colors of the edge of her hair just kind of streaks over the blade, and she's just like, every single fucking place I work, I swear to God.
All right. Then we move on to the accountant.
Okay, so using my just quickly, yeah, no, I know what I'm about. Kind of
Yeah.
looking at this, looking at Miss Cutter.
So what I'm gonna do, very carefully and deliberately, I start to unbutton my coat. And I'm going to use my bonus action to carefully remove my coat, place it on a hook, while I begin rolling up my sleeves, very methodically and very evenly.
And with my action, I'd like to kind of work out what I know about this person if I recognize them now.
Yeah. So I'd say, yeah, history check, probably with advantage.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks. Hot damn, that's a 15 or a 15.
Ooh,
That's enough.
Hot damn.
Especially if you know Mr. Atella.
Yeah. Would you like to explain it, Miss Cotter?
No, I think you should do it.
Okay.
I will explain flavor.
What the accountant knows is, while not working with them personally, you have heard of the Terror of the Dawn, a hit person who is very efficient and cutthroat, that worked for Mr. Otello.
Practically raised.
Yes. And
Yeah, that casual flavor.
and what you know about them is that they recently sort of disappeared, just went off the grid. You're not sure why. You haven't been privy to that information, but you do know that it wasn't at the order of the Don. Like, he seemed quite upset at one of his best people just disappearing. I think that's mostly covers it.
Excellent. As I finish rolling up my sleeves, this makes a lot more sense.
And I seem to accept this. I'm going to kind of like size up these guys now and start kind of like limbery, bouncy movement a little bit more. And kind of like stretch out my arms a little bit.
Yeah.
As I kind of like start circling around them and just kind of keeping an eye and seeing what's going on. But that'll be me for the first turn.
No worries.
Nice.
The two golems will then go.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, yikes.
One of them is going to attempt to grab at Miss Cocker.
You can bloody try.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah.
Oh no,
He
it's
can't
20,
even,
isn't it?
No, he can't even try.
Oh.
It's the opposite of a 20.
Oh yeah. I'd like to imagine that as he goes to grab like Cotta, Miss Terracotta, puts down her and like it does the thing where she uses the halberd as a vault over the arms.
Yep.
And just be like, look, you're the one that dragged him on in. I'm just sweeping up the mess.
Whoa.
That's the last thing you hear before you die, robot.
The other one sort of lumbers towards the accountant and swings its large metal fists. And that is a hit.
Owie.
Capacity.
Mr. Accountant, please take 4 bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
As this fist just sort of collides with your thick shoulder.
I would like to not move.
No, I didn't think you did. It just sort of like hits you and stops.
Thank you.
From that Pokemon animation,
Scoop,
Blastoise gets punched.
you've seen these 2 golems lumber to life. One has just put its fist against your large orcish friend, and the other one stumbled and was pole vaulted over by the maid you've recently been friends with.
Well now, you ruffians, no one called for a dust up here. It's time to put an end to this. As I pull out a hand crossbow and draw a short sword.
Yeah.
Number 9, you won't family this time, will ya? So I aim the crossbow at one of the golems fighting the accountant.
Yep.
Go, 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 go.
And fire a shot. That is not great, but 12 to hit.
12 is not enough, I'm sorry.
He glances up and don't worry about it, sweetheart. We'll get him next time. As I run up and hit him with the short sword.
Yeah.
Or attempt to.
Yeah.
16.
16 does hit.
Oh, I should roll damage. 1d6.
Are we running any kind of flanking mechanics?
5 piercing.
Only 5?
If-
You have sneak.
Okay.
Don't you have sneak attack?
Oh, I do have sneak. I'm a rogue.
Also, Miss Cotta is definitely next to it, and definitely the accountant is very much
Yeah,
next to
but they one is next to 2 of them. Like each golem is next to at least 1 ally, so you do get sneak attack.
That is with the extra 10 damage from sneak attack. That is a total of 15.
15.
That is actually, I think, my first ever sneak attack.
Never played a rogue?
No, I technically did, but never sneak attack. I didn't sneak attack. I played a character who was a 3-class multi-class with monk and stuff. It was very strange.
It wasn't great.
Which one were you attacking?
I was attacking the one engaged with the encounter.
Yep. Okay. That is number 2. So just so we're at number 1, currently dealing with Miss Cotta. Number 2 is currently dealing with the accountant.
Yeah, very quickly, rogues have like when to disengage. When it's actually disengage and step back.
To do 2 attacks, you would have had to bonus.
You're right.
Yep.
I had my turn.
Janus.
Right.
Go, Janus, go. Go, Janus, go. Go, Janus, go.
Now, on the one hand, going a pair of 2v1s would be cool as hell, but on the other hand, action economy dictates I should probably go for number 2.
What would Janus think at this point?
Charge. That's what Janus would think.
She's half cockeyed at this point, so
Yeah.
fight with all the courage you have, son, and none of the intelligence.
Sword!
roll odds or even, and that's the one you attack.
Alright. Odds is 1, evens is 2. It's an evens.
You're attacking number 2.
Alright, cool. Sword comes out. Janus is going to bring it high over his head. Now, this long sword, it looks pretty standard issue, but it's nice. Like, it's a nice sword.
Nice.
It's a nice sword.
And he's going to make a quick feint around the face of this thing and then go for one of the arms. Now I'm going to use the Battle Master maneuver Fainting Attack,
Nice.
which there you go. Expend a superiority dice and use a bonus action to faint. Choosing one creature within 5 feet of me. That thing. Use it has advantage on the next attack roll before the end of my next. Sorry, before the end of my turn.
You have advantage on this attack. Go ahead.
Oh, for goodness sake! You're not going to believe this.
What is it?
Both dice rolled a 15.
Ooh.
You're going
Are you
around.
kidding me?
Fortunately, a
It's bonus action
15
and
is...
everything.
Probably a hit. Oh wait,
No, it's not.
Yeah, the dice didn't roll a 15. You did.
Why do both of my dice have to roll 9s?
You faint, but unfortunately the calculating nature of this golem managed to bring up its arm just quickly enough to block. You glance across the metal of its forearm. We're back to the top of the order with Miss Cotter.
Miss Cotter's mad.
Yeah, I can
And also,
understand that.
and also realizing in this point that that poison's probably going to be absolutely bloody useless on these things. So instead, she's just going to get madder. Should have multi-class.
Yeah. Funnily
but-
enough, not a barbarian, people.
Funnily enough, not a barbarian. So that is a 16 to hit with
16 hits.
the halberd, and I'm gonna pop a smite.
Hell yeah.
Another point in the jar for Hellbrew.
I think I'm the only mod at the channel right now, so it'll have to be sub. Plus the halberd damage, which is this one. 7 plus. I feel like Tib all of a sudden, but I'm not Tib right now. That is 17 points. What is it? 7 are the halberd plus my base, and then the 10 are just this pure raging, just like, you dragged mud into my fucking house, and it's just this streaking like light from whatever god decided to just be like, I respect that. I
Honestly,
respect that.
I think it's just like her unyielding conviction of wanting the place to be clean.
Look, I've been hired to do a job. I do a job right.
Yeah.
And I want to slam that directly into whatever joint. I want to cripple this thing.
Yeah, you do. You bring this halberd right down onto like one of the arm joints and just cut clean through.
Cool.
This golem now only has one arm.
And I would like to use my bonus action to do this. You were correct. I couldn't actually poison before. Not that it mattered much anyway.
Yeah.
I looked back through the thing. So I am going to take one of the knives in my shirt and just slam it in its eye. If it's got the equivalent of an eye.
Yeah, it's got a little like visor.
19 to hit.
19 hits.
Damn!
Another 4 plus 2, so another 6 points of damage directly into its face.
Oof. Yeah, this golem comes down, like, from the weight of your attack, it comes down to its knees.
I want to say that, like, the knife is stabbed and she's pulled it down,
Yeah.
and she's looking at it in the eyes, and she's just like, don't ever drag your muddy feet into this house again.
I think it's now been accepted that this is in fact the one with mud on its feet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is.
I couldn't have accepted the other
That was the
first.
one she was poking.
That was the one I was poking. That was the one I was going for.
Accountant.
The accountant would like to. I'd like to punch this thing a collection of times, please.
You may.
Very good.
Alright, so gonna first punch, we'll see how we go from there.
Yep.
12.
Alright, a bit harder. See how you go, the left, right.
And these are my bonus action, I'll make another 2 punches at it.
Yep.
17 to hit
That hits.
on the first, second, 23 to hit.
Definitely hits.
No crits. Do you want this all together?
Yeah, just give me it all together.
12 points of very bludgeoning damage.
Ooh. You bring your fists, which are of equal size to the golem's fists, and probably
Yeah.
just as hard,
Yeah.
and you just pound into its torso. As you do so, you hear like a crunch and a grind, and one of its arms just sort of locks into place,
Yes.
like it can't.
Look up.
My son, this is already over and you haven't even started yet. I suggest you sit the fuck down.
Yes.
I mean, I'd say roll intimidation.
If you'll allow me to, I will happily roll.
You can roll it.
Golems might be specifically immune to intimidation, but it's worth a shot.
15.
Condition immunity, frightened. Yeah.
What about under duress?
What is it? It's just the meme. It's just like panic.
You feel that if this thing was capable of sweating, it would.
That brings me no shortage
Sweats
of joy.
internally.
I'd also just like to say though that as you, the other people here might kind of notice though, the accountant is very light on his feet and is very constantly circling in and around this creature with his 50 feet of movement that I have at this current time.
Whoa.
Yeah. So good.
Does anyone here not have a magic item that slows them down?
I do not have any magic items. I am all built.
Yeah.
took the
I'm
jacket
saying,
off.
yeah, I'm like,
I mean,
like, you guys got magic items.
I did
mean,
say you guys
we
could
can
have
talk
one.
about my own magic.
You said we could have one?
Yeah.
Wait, what did I take? I don't remember.
I
taking
don't.
one.
I'm not sure if anyone of you actually took one though. So.
I don't
did.
believe I took one.
Alright, well, I might pull it out later now, suddenly.
Yeah.
Did I find it in my pocket?
In my pocket, they tied a deck of pennies.
the golem's turn. This one that's currently kneeling down in front of Miss Cotter is going to take its remaining arm
Ready?
and just ineffectually swipe at you. Wow, these
Oh,
dice
really?
rolls.
It's another miss?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't. This one hasn't rolled above a 5.
I went to think that, like, when the punch came, she, like, bapped it with the broom while she still got the knife in its face.
Yeah. It brings it up and you just like tap it and it just stops.
I said no.
And this other one tries to basically body the accountant. With its locked arm, it tries to like throw its other arm over you and like push you down.
Unacceptable.
That
Does
is
it manage it?
That is a hit.
Oh.
For minimum 3 damage.
Oh,
As it just throws its entire weight against you, and you just sort of catch it.
So, what you're saying is there is a golem on me.
Yes.
That's perfect. That's exactly where I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Scoop.
Let's go. Let's go.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Find me a window, son.
I'm going to drop the sword, having used it for its purpose. I'm going to put a section disengage, and then use my free hand now to load the crossbow and take another shot.
Sounds good.
So let's
Which
roll
one?
that.
Isn't it a bonus action to reload the crossbow?
Just
It's not a
shoot it.
bonus action to reload the crossbow, but you need a free hand to do it.
Ah.
Yeah.
And
Unless you have
you
crossbow
can't make
expert.
more than one attack with a crossbow a turn.
Yeah.
Even if you have multi-attack.
Unless you have crossbow expert.
Yes.
And that's
Oh,
bonus
that
actions.
hurts.
Oh,
Come on,
Chelsea.
number 9, my beautiful hand crossbow. Why you gotta do this to me? That's a one.
No.
That's a
That's
one.
a one, people.
Oh no! Which
What
one were
is
you
that
shooting
roll?
at?
Go.
Oh,
Bring it on, son. Bring it on.
Give me this. Give me this scoop. I need this.
It's up to the DM.
It's up to
yeah,
you where you aim.
yeah. Which one were you aiming at? I'm assuming you
I was
attack.
aiming at the one near. Yeah, at the one near the accountant again.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give this to the accountant because I think I know what he's.
My reaction to deflect missile, please.
You may.
Heck yes. Heck yes.
So, Scoop, roll damage, and then accountant roll deflect missile.
9
Let's roll it
total.
Roll damage. So this one. Well,
I don't believe this would constitute sneak attack.
No, I'm not having sneak attack.
there's my,
TY.
oh, in that case,
I can't beat that.
in that case, that is, I believe, 6.
So you see one arm from beneath this guy. That's that. May I use the following section of the ability to redirect that into the golem that is on me?
You may.
I like this too much. It's too funny.
Ah, dang it, the dice hates me. That's
Oh.
a 9
No.
to try and stab the golem, but that well. I
Okay.
catch it.
You do. You
Wait,
managed
no,
to
no.
catch.
Oh, never mind. Can't use my inspiration.
It's a one shot. Allow it.
Yeah,
Allow
you can.
it,
You,
DM.
you can totally use your inspiration.
Yay.
Okay, well that rolled a 3 instead, so it gets stuff.
No.
And
Okay.
a 2. I give. That
Man,
ball
I've
was just
already
never
swapped
going
dice.
anywhere.
Fair enough.
Give it your best shot, and Scoop is immensely appreciated.
Janus. You see this this golem like basically fall on top of the accountant and Scoop go to shoot it, miss as he like fumbles with the bolt, and the accountant catch the bolt and then just break the bolt against the metal of the golem.
Right. Am I within range of golem number 1?
Yes.
Which one is that? The mine? The mud
Yes.
one?
The mud one.
Yeah.
Seeing this insanity, Janus is going to go, right. Wheel around, sort of pivot on one foot, and bring the sword around to try and take off the other arm on golem number 1.
Sounds good.
The question is... The question is answered. Actually, no, I'll just make a regular attack. That's fine.
Yep.
Come on, dice, don't fail me now.
You got this.
Update, they failed me now. 1.
No.
Oof.
Dice, you're fired.
No. You need a jail.
Oh,
Back in the box.
yeah. No, you
Treachery.
you
I think I just threw my sword.
you feel it like, oh, you've done this maneuver plenty of times in practice. It's easy. And you spin around. And unfortunately, in practice, you've never been intoxicated.
Oh.
And you sort of keep spinning.
Is it gonna hit them?
Whoa.
No, he
Should I
just
do-
he spins, trips, and you fall prone.
I think you hear Miss
Okay.
Cotter sigh.
You know what? This is fine. I haven't moved. I'm gonna use my full movement to stand back up.
Very well. Miss Cotter,
Am I? Do I
you see,
up?
you see, young Janus spin around with his sword and almost fall on top of it, and then get back up behind this golem that you are currently holding down.
This is full of slight roll of the eyes. This is a very familiar feeling for her.
He
It's
goes,
almost
oh, for
like I'm
goodness
home."
sake. Braces himself. Action surge.
Oh, okay.
You can do it. You can do it, Janus.
Guts full of this.
You've got it. Go on.
Right,
You can do it. Hit the golem.
Action surge. Fainting attack. Let's have another go.
Yep.
Right,
You've got
nice,
this.
better freaking behave yourselves. I've only got a break even.
Positive reinforcement. Yeah.
23 to hit.
That is a hit.
Heck yeah.
That's spicy.
Good.
What happens when you encourage people, guys? You need to give them positive reinforcement.
I did this, and then we established that these two never get positive reinforcement.
Yeah, I wasn't going to
It's
mention it, but the two people that weren't rolling well were the ones that apparently tend to be
So
seen as
connected.
incompetent.
It's all connected.
1d10 plus 1d8, that's 13 damage total straight to the remaining arm in one good thrust. With decent
Yeah.
stance this time.
Yeah. So you,
Mwah.
after almost falling on your sword, your head clears a bit. And you're like, hang on, this like the adrenaline has gotten to you, and the fuzziness disappears. You straighten your stance, and you plunge the sword straight through the wooden joint, and like bring it up out of it, and it just splinters, and the arm like breaks off. This golem's like body sort of convulses a bit under the behind the dagger in its head, and it just sort of goes limp.
Ooh.
One golem down.
Okay. Miss Cotta. Is it Miss Cotta's turn?
It is now Miss Cotter's turn.
I would like to, for flavor, if possible. This will happen after. Actually, no. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm gonna take my helper.
Yep.
Which bapped the other thing, and I am going to try and, well, get the other one in the back because it's currently above the accountant.
Yep.
And I go, "Are you doing all right down there?" Oh gosh, that's a little bit
You
worse.
say down there.
Uh,
He's still taller than you while holding this up.
Eh,
If anything, I'm just making your life harder, really.
It's like, are you okay under there? That is a 15 to hit. I don't think that
Oof,
hits.
no.
Alright, I'd like to take, this is the flavor part that I was doing as part of the attack action. I would like to take the head of the golem with me
Yep.
as I stab it in the back.
Yep.
Come on, come on. Oh, much better. 17.
17 is a hit.
Another 4 plus. Wow, my knife's doing so much better than this. That's another 7 damage.
Nice.
Yay.
I was like, "Are you doing okay down there? Do you need any help? Do you need any help there, accountant sir?"
I'm feeling quite alright at the moment. Although I'm very, very perturbed by the amount of stainage that is happening to my shirt at this moment.
Alas, if you need any help, I can help you to get some of the stains out later.
I would be very appreciative, Miss Cotter.
Don't ship it.
And with that, sorry, is my turn?
Yes.
With
The
that,
most professional working relationship.
I am going to, and this is a little bit of flavor, so tell me if I can't do this, but if it's on top of me,
Yep.
I would like us both, as just my normal attack, I'd like to run this thing into the nearest wall if possible.
Yeah. I'll allow that.
Excellent. Alright,
Is
first one, let's go.
Should you go throw for that?
Nah, 13.
Oof. Nope.
Damn.
And then once it is in this position, however, and hopefully not as on top of me, I would like to try and punch it in the head repeatedly.
Yes, you may.
Perfection. That will be a 19 on the first of 2.
Woohoo!
15. The
Oof.
second.
It's either 15s or 1s.
4 points of damage.
4 points of damage. You bring your very large fist up and like dint the like basically almost crumple the head of this thing, but it is still just got a spark of life in it.
Oh my goodness,
Do you mind, please? And at this moment, is there anyone else near this thing?
If you've ran it sort of towards the wall, everyone would be a bit further away because it was mainly happening in the center of the room.
Alright, cool. In that case, I'll stay next to it. I'll look back over.
All right, Scoop. This is going to be a very important shot for you right now, and please, aim for the robot.
I'll do what I can.
Before that, it will try and take one last swing at the accountant, which, once again, does hit. Another 5 bludgeoning damage as it, like you were holding it against the wall and it sort of tries to basically bring its fist down onto your arm to, like, knock your arm down. It doesn't succeed, but it does hurt.
I hope you appreciate the last thing you're ever going to do on this earth.
I whisper quietly to it.
Yeah. Scoop?
It's one
Alright.
last attack. It's going to be bold of you to assume we don't all miss this round.
I will not miss, son. I will not miss.
Alright, number 9. Don't let me down. You can see Scoop whisper to his crossbow. Levels it at the creature. Closes his eyes. Closes one
You
eye.
got this.
One
You got
eye,
this,
okay.
You got this. You got this. I give you my
You
inspiration.
didn't.
Thank
you did.
God.
You didn't. You don't need it. You.
No. Thank God you
needed
did
it.
because I rolled a 15.
My inspiration is yours. Take it.
I'll allow it. Come on, Scoop.
Oh
She
my
gives you-
God.
she-
Oh my God.
13.
Oh.
Indeed 13. Not meant to be.
Hang on, isn't... Right, inspiration's different for...
No.
It's whichever's higher, so 15 again.
Yeah, nah.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Ow.
As much
It
as Miss
hurts
Carter's
so
encouragement
much.
is helpful, you at least don't shoot your companion.
Okay, that was better.
Janus?
Sword time!
Sword time.
I've got 2 superiority dice left. You goddamn right I'm gonna use the same maneuver again.
Yep. You're going to somehow faint with this thing pinned against the wall.
Yeah. That I'm not sure how that works either, but it takes a bonus action to do it. So I'm gonna do it.
Do we?
Yeah, so you're gonna try and bait its arm out so I can sort of expose the joint. And fainting attack! Come on! Yay! 18 to hit.
That is a hit.
Yay! 9 damage.
Nice. You like
Right in
swing
the arm
at yeah, you swing for the arm joint and it goes to like sort of block it, and then you switch up your strike and just bring the sword down in through its neck joint into its torso. And it just
Excellent.
goes limp.
For one for being just tall enough to do that.
Well done, boy. You've done good.
And we are out of combat.
That was cool!
That was fun.
Miss
You
Costa
alright?
picks up her glasses from the floor.
Oh, yep. And
I would-
This is like cracking one. Puts them in her pocket.
aw.
Oh no.
Reassembles the broom, but I didn't organize a broom version, so reassembles the broom.
Which sprite do you want to use? This one?
I think while she's currently set up, if we go upstairs, she's going to switch back because or else
Okay.
might get in trouble.
Yep.
You're a little bit too suspicious.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just the maid. I just clean up messes.
Right.
That's all.
They should be going.
Scoop. Scoop is gonna look over his crossbow. So it's alright. It's alright. We all have off days. Puts
No,
away in
you
his
are-
back pocket.
Yes.
Oh, no, never mind. Was just thinking something interesting. You
No.
are a maid, as I am an accountant.
Yes. Funny how work works like that. Now, come over here. You're all
Yeah,
dirty and stuff. It's like You're all dirty, and more importantly, and I give you, like, I brush off, like, some stray dust or oil that has gone on his head. You're hurt, and I heal you up with lay on hands for whatever you're missing. What are you missing at this point?
12.
I have all of that, so I heal you up full. Just like it brushes her. And you, she has to stand on her tippy toes in order to do it.
I will duck down a little bit as well.
Don't ship it.
You're allowed. You're allowed to. It's so very good, though. It's just- I can't do anything about cleaning up your clothes right now, but I'm sure we can find you a spare shirt unless you've already got one. Your jacket's all fine over in the corner.
I look at my arms, and then I look back, and I say,
With all due respect, I find that highly doubtable, but I appreciate the offer nonetheless. It's very hard to find clothes in my size.
Well, I mean, I know how to sew if you need any help.
Aww.
Well, there is still the issue of a murder that has taken place at this particular event.
Indeed.
Well, we
Well-
have just killed the murder weapon by all... Well, not murder weapon, per
We
se.
don't know, but we do know that this motherfucker, very lightly, she's got her hair up. She's like very much get more casual about
Yeah.
it. Asshole. Goes over to the thing. All right, what do you got on you? Who commanded you?
This one's headless.
Oh, that's right. I go back over to the head of Finch to the other side.
it has
I also
large
take
fist
back my
dents
nap.
in its head.
Yeah,
That's her.
like
I
The
take
one-
my
the
knife
one
out
that's-
and I slip it back.
yeah, the one that's
Yep.
kneeling on the ground currently has no arms and no head,
Yes.
matching some of the other non-active golems in its state of repair.
It'll buff out.
All right.
I think it is very likely that we just start talking to the people upstairs at this point. They no doubt heard a commotion.
Yes, they'll be wondering what's
Well-
going on.
Hopefully, but I want to make sure that we've got everything here. Do I see any signs of any of the people down here?
Or drugs.
Or we found drugs.
Oh,
They're
yes,
just
yes.
casually on that
There's
counter.
definitely drugs.
Oh, sweet, cool.
Yes.
And I
next
very
to
much
next
like,
to a bunch of notes as well.
I look at Janus and I'm like, you touch those, I'm gonna be upset with you. Not gonna lie.
I believe you. I
Good.
believe you.
Good.
This is
Also-
a very wise answer, young master.
Yes.
I say, putting back on my jacket.
Nice.
And just like you see Terracotta be like, that poor shirt, and go over to the table with the notes.
Yep.
I want to see if there's any, identification-y stuff. Blah 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 blah.
So these notes just seem to be Mr. Sanguis's notes on his current experiments. Basically, the things you find there is things like he's like what he's working on with he was trying to transmute wood into more durable material for ease of wood golems are easy to make, and if we make them better, then it's better than just trying to make them
Big
out of
business.
metal, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He tried different
More like
materials
that,
like
yeah.
stone and gemstone and whatnot, but he found that it was easiest to do that. Basically, his notes are like these will be perfect for manual labor and whatnot. Like we can replace. He's like, I'll talk to Jevry and see if he's interested in a deal to replace these. There's notes there about how Chien wanted to sell them to the mercenaries because they would make a good army. But Malvi was in his notes is just don't approve of funding mercenaries or supplying mercenaries. And the last note is basically wanted to reveal at party, can't find the command stone. We'll have to make another.
Someone's got
Huh.
it.
There must be-
Someone has the command stone.
Do we know what it looks like?
Probably.
Is there-
That was me asking in the group.
Is there sketches of it anywhere?
Yeah. There's in the notes there'll be a sketch of it. It's nothing. It's like kind of a rectangular, roundish rectangular stone that seems to have like glyphs, sort of, on the front
Alright,
of it.
have we seen anybody with that sort of item around?
You haven't seen, like, not that you remember, but like, not something you were particularly looking for either.
You haven't exactly
Alright.
gone for people's belongings.
Well, it's I suppose, investigator, you should be allowed to.
Yes.
We know what we're looking for at least. But
So,
if anybody tries to hide anything, would it? No, it wouldn't have been in the garden. It wouldn't have
The
been.
problem is if we try and round everyone up, they might try and dispose of it before we can find it, or they may have already disposed of it.
perhaps.
Oh.
Just as a quick reminder, though, who are our leading suspects? Of course, there's Mr. Big Boss, obviously.
He stood to gain financially.
He stood to gain financially, but he also, I don't believe he would have known.
It does seem hard that he has somehow gained information on this without Marvell knowing, but nevertheless, not impossible.
So, probably
Maybe
not.
we also could have perceived it to be a rival to his current workforce.
Very much so. Would eliminate your need for unwillfully employed people. In addition, there is Mr. Amberwood, who was being forced in a precarious position that he did not clearly want to be in.
That's
If
true.
this deal does not go through, his life gets at least marginally simpler, and he has a way of dealing with the Swift Silver mercenaries.
Yes, but I don't know if Master Sanguis would have been the one that would have told him that, hey there, I have a whole construct army for you. I don't.
I don't think my father knew about these golems, no.
If they did know, however, about the fact that the mercenaries were on their way to getting more, that would be motivation. I don't mean to upset you, Janus.
But they are
But-
both
No, there's
council
some-
members as well.
There's something we're missing. I
There
only
is.
know of
No idea.
3 people who knew about this golem project. 3 people who would have had access to the keys to get in here. That's Malvi himself,
Mm.
Mrs. Sanguis,
Hmm.
and Chien.
The other thing would be who knew about Mr. Sanguis's drug habit, and who
I
was
would-
the supplier.
I
Those 3.
suspect the alchemist and his wife. Not immediately together, of course.
No.
Perhaps it is time that we start asking some people some questions once more.
What
Should
do,
we? Yes.
I'm going to take a moment and survey the scene here. I would like
Yes.
to, once more, dust for prints.
Okay.
That's a
Do
good
you
idea.
use the snow?
When it is a freely available powder,
We're in a workshop. I'm sure there's more chalk.
No. That's the only way.
It's more interesting.
At the very least, that's the first thought that Scoop has.
let's use my chalk powder once more and
Okay.
see if I can find some other utensils in the room that might be of use.
Hmm.
All right, investigation.
Yep.
17.
Nice.
Nice.
Where was that roll before?
I mean, there's fingerprints all over the place in here.
Right.
It is a workshop.
I'm going to rule out the most plentiful one as being Master Sanguini's.
There does seem to be a second set.
I'm gonna make a note of that. I'm gonna make an impression in my notepad.
Yep.
Of that set.
Why does your notepad smell like drugs, Inspector?
For the context, I'm gonna be using the ink to make just a black circle, like a black area, and then
Yep.
be pressing that against to have a white on it. Yeah.
Oh, very clever.
Yeah.
Neat. Science.
Hey.
It's also quite sticky before it dries.
Oh dear.
For ya.
Awesome.
No, don't flip
Um,
over that page too quickly.
Yes, Solicitor
Good
Troy. Miss Cotter's going to change back while the investigation-y bit's going on.
And do.
Just readjusts the ribbon on her head. Fixes up her braids. Is wearing glasses in the picture, but I think she's taken them off because they are shattered in one of the frames, and she's debating. Do you think she turns to the accountant probably because at this point, what are secrets? And goes, do you think they'd notice if I hadn't? Do you think they're smart enough to notice that I don't have both glass lenses in?
You might as well. Do you need the glasses?
No, it's just her to help me hide.
Take off both lenses and they won't notice anyway.
I'll poke the other one out. it's just a very cheap set of glasses.
Yeah.
She puts them on her nose. Well,
Clark Kent, what are you doing here?
she's just like, she sighs, she dusts herself off. Now that you actually probably are inspecting her a little bit closer, because I don't think you've been looking over her, you realize that the brooch around her throat's actually a tortoiseshell. And she's just like, do I know that the accountant works for the Don?
Yeah, you would know that.
I don't think we've ever formally met in a professional capacity or otherwise.
Not as of yet, no.
Terracotta?
Extend my hand to the accountant.
Shake.
Obviously shake.
I have only heard some things regarding yourself. But as of this evening, I am more than happy to, how would you say, leave this event in this building between you and myself. This is none of my affair.
Very much appreciated. There are folk in the family that I didn't want to make a choice between. I appreciate that. And I will help you with your shirt regardless. You poor thing, going around with just a messy shirt. Can't stand it. And unfortunately did not take prestidigitation, so I can't fix it, and that's infuriating me. Right? Just like, we'll see if we can find you something. At the very least, we can get some of the stains out. Come on.
I'm surprised you didn't
That'd be
take.
appreciative.
Oh, I guess paladins don't get.
I would find a way.
Yeah.
I would find...
Because like,
It's literally Magic School 101 spell.
yeah.
It's just like,
There-
I feel like this Cotta's just
Yeah.
semblance of just like cleanliness. Whatever God would be like, let's just give it to her. It's probably the best. She's just gonna kill everyone until we do.
Why do I get the feeling she'd kind of hate people who do have it? She's like, oh, you can just magic it all away. I'm gonna clean it by hand.
Why
Picks
do
him
you
up and
think
walks
it's not-
around with him as a weapon. Be like, clean this, now this, and that, and this. All right, sit.
It's what that one meme
It's
of that
like in the
person with a
Flintstones.
frog with the insects, just like I have a weapon.
Yeah, it's prestidigitator. A prestidigitator. It's a Korea.
It's my prestidigitator.
I present my Roomba. It's just a fairy tied to the top of a Roomba.
Prestidigitator.
Okay, we want to head upstairs now if
All
you're
right,
finished with your
let's-
investigating.
We're gonna go
Yes.
accuse somebody. Sorry, what?
Well, Miss Cotta looks completely put together. Thank you very much. You do know, like, if I don't know how many, if any of you, most of you are probably polite enough, but if anybody looks, you realize that the interior of her skirt is just all knives.
Nice.
Don't worry, I'm literally a really big orc man, not wearing a shirt, but wearing a suit jacket and vest, and I've probably got a bit of blood on me. So like,
Wait, you
you're
don't have
probably
a shirt
really-
on?
I took the shirt off, because
Oh.
it was stained. I need to clean it. I can't do that if I'm wearing it. That'd be silly.
And these
Okay.
pieces come along. Yeah, like-
Congratulations, chat! You got your wish. You have you have the shirtless one.
Fan
In
artists?
that case,
Let's
if
see
you had
that.
blood on you, she would have gotten out a handkerchief. She would have cleaned you up. There's no way.
Oh, thanks.
Thou hast beneath the scrubbed.
But my point being is, don't worry. I think you are the least obvious person here, because I am the accountant.
He does draw a lot of attention.
He does, and now he's a shirtless buff dude. As we walk up, everyone's gonna be like,
What the hell happened down there?
"Nice." It's like everyone's gonna be like, "Nice jacket."
Very politely, quietly. This nice jacket.
I like your
Please
coat.
go
And,
away.
and Miss Cotta's just like, "Okay, I've got to make sure I get the bacon soda."
What have your
She's just-
prints
It
uncovered?
does. It's not that she does not acknowledge that you are clearly like buff and a buff and cool and stuff. It's very much she's just like, "This shirt's dirty. It's such a pain."
I got folded over one arm.
All I can think about.
I'm just like, oh, how am I gonna get bloody metal blood stains out? Oh, blood is so annoying to clean out of carpets. I should know better than most. Why do you think she's so good at cleaning?
Look, before this ship sails itself out of port, can we go upstairs now?
Let's go. It's so
Okay.
good. It's so good. And the entire chat is very much like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. There's a freaking ship name already.
Oh god.
Wait, there is.
Yes.
I'll
There's
have
the
to quit the chat
Terra.
after this.
They're the Terra count.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes. Halfway
Oh.
down the corridor. Oh yeah, put sword away.
And you did a good job with it, didn't you, Janus? Good job.
These are very nice swords. You've kept it well.
Ah,
It
thank
does
you.
you honor.
Hmm.
He's positively beaming now.
Okay, let me just
But
organize
maybe
this.
don't tell your strong, powerful parentage that you were any kind of danger around us. You were perfectly safe the whole time, right?
Yes,
That
we
is
totally
because,
protect you.
and your prowess in battle storied that no harm fell before you. You've done well.
Mhm.
And that is the story we will be telling Mr. Amberwood.
Nice.
And then Janus kind of goes, wait, pats himself down and goes, spotless. Okay, yep, we're good.
Enter into the foyer.
To reveal the suspect lineup.
Yeah, I figured we'll do a parlor scene.
Yes!
We're
Classic.
doing.
The Poirot moment. This is all I wanted.
We are
This is-
better
it's-
than the
it's, yeah.
police.
Well, one of us is debatably police, and two of us are definitely not police
I
at
almost
all.
out loud asked, who?
Hey, some of my best friends are policemen.
No, my best friends are police.
Okay. Ooh, they're all up there.
And yes. There we go. That's got all of them,
The
right?
chat's been so good.
Nate might need to be brought to the front.
Yeah, he was.
Nate.
There we are.
You can still have some one-on-one conversations if you wish. I'm just gonna put them all there.
What
In
is the
case you-
stuff on what is the stuff on the shirt? Like, is it an oil? Please tell me it's not an oil.
On the accountant.
Accountant.
Yeah.
Maybe some mud.
Just mud?
Let's
Only
be
mud?
nice. Let's just say it's just mud and a little bit of my blood.
I'm not sure if they broke your skin, because they may have bruised you, but like,
I don't wear out. Oh, yeah, okay, that's fair.
because like it was bludgeoning damage. It wasn't piercing or slashing. So
Choice. In which case, it's just mud.
yeah, just one of them had mud on them.
Alright. Oh, that's so much easier. I thought it was going to be oil or something. Yeah, no, I think she's just she goes, and while we're going, there's probably the laundry room, and she takes a brief moment to put it in the pile. We'll get that to you later. And then God joins the party.
Pressed and folded.
And we enter back into the room.
Yes.
Dun dun dun.
And I will pour myself another drink.
Stock
Just
door
helping
noises.
yourself to all the booze.
Mhm.
Oh,
Look,
you
I'm helping myself to solving a murder.
Yeah, true. You're a drunken monk, aren't you?
Hey, you nailed it! You got my class.
Yeah.
Hey!
And here I thought you just liked the brandy.
Two things can be true.
Yeah, could be both. Okay.
highest constitution monk I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Hey.
I gave him the barbarian's version of unarmored defense.
I
Because
think that's wise. I think that's fair.
otherwise he
I
had
think that's fair
11
given his
AC.
size.
I'm a strength monk.
You're
The new
a-
build.
You're a tank. You're built like a tank and you hit just as hard.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't. Okay. So as we're going along, I think we can discount the stuff. I don't think. With all due respect, I don't think either of them are bright enough to be able to use a command stone properly.
Fair.
I love them very much, but oh boy, Knight
Oh,
would
hang on.
probably freak out in the
Technically.
process.
Technically forgot someone.
Kit,
Ah,
was it Kit the whole time? I don't believe it would have been as much as it could have been the person who was in charge of the food. I doubt it was Mr. Kit either, given that
Maybe
they only just arrived and they were told that they could take herbs from the garden, and they wouldn't have just casually switched the signs if they wanted to do that. We know that
should
whoever has
probably-
it has the command stone.
We should probably check Nate's fingerprints just in case.
All
Wouldn't
right,
want to miss anything impossible.
like, you just want to say the butler did it.
I didn't say
No.
anything.
All right. Well, we've got everyone here. Our main suspects are Mr. Big Boss and Chen, right? And Janus, your father, or no?
Chen
It's
has
whoever's-
really nothing to gain from this.
No.
There's no financial motivation, nor is there personal motivation. He had everything he already wanted. And in fact, his life, and I promise you, just got a lot harder than it was 24 hours ago. This is not in his best interests.
I don't believe it would have been. I don't think it would have been Ms. Sanguis either. She just lost someone very close.
That seems to be the case to me as well.
Maybe. It depends what she would have to gain.
She
Not
would
being
be.
an inventor, probably very little.
She would only have whatever the fortune is here. Yes, she'd inherit it, and yes, she'd be able to be with Jen, but there would
She
be
had
no income.
both those
with that.
things.
Yeah, why would she need to
Change the
deal
source
with
code.
that? She was very comfortable, always happily.
Two
I don't
partners
know.
and a lot of money. Don't know what more you can ask for, frankly.
I don't know anything about the one from the Alchemist Guild. The master
Robin.
from the Robin,
that-
yes. The guild master. They
Was you not-
had. Sorry, we only know that they were invited, and they came to us for the answer of like whether or not they had with a combination of Dragon's Thorn and and the substance to begin with.
Yes.
That
No.
knowledge
Well,
isn't
that
common.
Well, now that you guys have seen true form, it's just like, let's just say the Alchemist Guild deals in other cleaning chemicals, amongst other things.
Yes.
It's very likely he is a supplier of some description.
Yes. It'd be strange for him to lead us to effectively the murder weapon.
But he may have mentioned it to someone else.
They, not he.
They, terribly sorry.
So, if we can, we're back to the start. Your father, Jen, or Mr. Big Boss.
Well.
Or your mother, but I don't know what your mother would want to do with it. Unless
No, neither would I.
it was to do something to keep you safe.
I think it best we just start speaking to people and ruling them
Yeah.
out
Right.
that way.
Alright,
And
well,
conduct interviews.
dun 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 dun. Dun dun. One of you is a murderer.
All right. Janus, I think it is time for a hard conversation. I only ask that perhaps we speak to your father first, because speaking with Mr. Big Boss, for other reasons, might become difficult.
Alright.
Let us tear the band-aid off.
Alright, are we taking them to the side or are we doing this publicly?
To the side of Dust,
I
Put them at
think-
ease.
Yes, I think it's probably best if we take them to the side.
You
All
seem
right,
to have served it up now. Would you like to lead this?
Adrenaline will do that to you. Yes, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
I will step behind the young master and stay behind him like a really ominous shadow.
It gives people
Really
confidence, you
foolish.
see.
Miss Cotta is going to keep a lookout on the others to see who is listening on the
Yep.
conversations.
All right.
Hello, Father.
Janus, what is this about?
So we
You
think
have a-
we've determined. We think we've determined how this happened.
That's
But we're-
impressive. Proud of you.
It's been an interesting party, but we're still trying to work out why.
Motive.
Would you mind stepping into another room that we may talk with you in private, please?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
And I will follow
And
Master
and
Janus.
away we go.
Yeah, you step into a different room. Looks very similar. And no one else is here.
Whoa.
Big houses do not mean big creativity.
Yeah.
Although I suppose Mr. Sanguis was very creative by design, so
Look,
yeah,
I
never mind.
wasn't going to
Absolutely.
find a background for every room.
Not yet.
Dun,
Let's
dun,
go to the pool.
dun. Oh my gosh, can I?
Oh my gosh.
There's no pool.
Surely the eighth room.
No.
Pool
Where's
looks
the
remarkably
pool?
like the ballroom.
Huh. I would have believed
I thought
there's
you
more
said-
water here.
I thought you said you were in the library. So was the swimming pool.
Is everything just in the ballroom? Yes, it's a very big ballroom now.
Yeah. All
Alright,
right. Hailing
back
back to
down
the
to-
inceptory.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Back down to the green business.
Insane.
Father, I know you like to keep your affairs separate from me because business and family and whatnot. But
Yes.
I need to know what's been happening with the Swift Silver mercenaries. Long story.
Okay. They've been causing problems around town. They they're violent and they have no respect for the law. The multiple incidences with them clashing with the guards. They're even, like, because they're like a foreign entity, they're even causing problems for the more organized crime syndicates in the city, and it's just causing a big mess. I do know that Mr. Chien in there apparently met with their captain earlier this week. Not sure why, but that's I'm not sure what else I can tell you about them.
Okay. Have you heard any rumors about their, looking toward the accountant, recruitment?
No. You wanting to join them?
That wasn't what I was asking.
Okay. No, I mean, I don't know how they recruit. I assume same way any mercenary groups do. They just find the most violent people and just throw some armor on them and...
All
May I perform an insight check on this gentleman?
You may.
Now would be the time, yeah.
Go.
You both may. And I would say...
My insight's rubbish, but I'll try it. In
You-
fact, I'll
you
give
would-
you the help action,
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
Okay, that works.
seeing as that's more valuable than my insight.
All right, so I rolled a total of 15 twice.
Oh my lord! What the heck is
So
this
many
game?
15s.
Yeah.
But 15. It's a really high 15 though. Not
Yeah.
one of the ones that missed before.
Ah,
I mean, Janus, do you want to give it a roll as well? This is your father.
Your
well,
father.
being the help action, I've sacrificed my role.
I'm
in
happy
favor
to
of
give you a
giving-
roll, but
Okay, let's see if my that's a 7.
okay, sure.
Oh no!
No, it's-
I'm
Oh
glad I gave you
dear.
advantage.
I mean, I guess.
When he said, "I don't really know anything about them," did it seem like he was lying through his teeth?
No.
Okay.
Like, he generally is. His dealings with them have been through trying to clean their messes, is what it seems he's genuinely saying.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Accountant, I think I have an idea.
I suspect we have the same one. Please.
So, what if this is a power grab? From my family, specifically, trying to unseat them from power by causing chaos.
I look
This-
towards Mr. Amberwood.
So did you say this where he could hear it?
Kind of semi-whispering to the accountant, not really talking to my father.
Okay, cool.
It's possible. Free up a seat on the council.
Because if the Amberwood family was removed, that would sway more influence to the other seats. And open up the lordship.
You suspect that there is someone is trying to frame your family.
I suspect someone's trying to wipe us off the board. I mean, how much firepower would it take the Swift Silver Mercs to completely remove us from power?
A lot.
Well, what we saw downstairs.
Looked awfully like a lot of firepower.
So if that's the case, who stands to gain from that?
That's the question. See, the
Thank you,
obvious
brother.
answer. Oh, yes. Thank you, Mr. Amberwood, for your time.
No worries.
Oh, another quick question, sorry, before I forget. What do you know of... I believe his name is Gary Big Boss?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Big Boss.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. J-E-R apostrophe... No, Jev''. Jeffrey. Yeah.
Oh, I got it right. I just need the apostrophe.
I
Nice.
look forward to calling him Jerry later when I punch him in the head.
Ooh, would pay to see that.
All I know is he's a very successful businessman with very unethical business procedures, I guess you would say.
Has he recently tried to bring his business into the city under your watch?
I mean, his business already extends all over the country.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the use of slaves is not illegal in our county. It's simply the selling and buying of slaves is not allowed. So, he gets his slaves from other places in the world, but he's perfectly within his right to use their labor in our under our laws.
And there have been no attempts to change those laws recently, by yourself, perhaps?
There's been advocates for it, but it's not a fresh topic. It's one of those things that's, a few years ago, me and Mr. Sanguis were both very outspoken, but money talks, and unfortunately, I suspect a few of the council members were bribed, and the laws weren't changed. So.
Indeed. Well, I have no further questions. Scoop, Miss Cotter, do either of you have anything else you'd like to ask of the fine Mr. Amberwood?
I didn't even realize you two were in the room.
Neither, but it's fine.
Oh, sorry, I just assumed they followed.
Yakuni, I had myself on mute. This Cotter has been keeping an eye out. I want to know who's been looking over this time. I want to know whose eyes are here. And more importantly, after that's done, I want to cast Detect Magic and see if I can find that stone.
Roll me a perception.
Except, oh, it's a good roll. Non-natural 20.
Very nice.
80-20, woo.
I mean, everyone's... Well, not everyone. Some people. So... Bonnie would just sort of have her head in her hands. Chien is probably like his gaze goes between her to basically looking around at everyone. Darwin and Nate are kind of just having like a conversation. Not like heaps of talking, but occasionally one will like whisper something, and then the other sort of pauses for a few moments and then whisper something short back again. Jeffrey is looking, around as well. He's like curious about what's going on, like why you're taking someone aside to talk to them, sort of thing. And I think Robin is staring at you, just trying to figure you out again.
I will avoid staring back and hope that my not glasses, which no longer have two lenses, are enough. But whilst this is going on, I'm going to subtly behind my back cast Detect Magic.
Yep.
On the room, looking for the command stone in particular.
Oop. How does Detect Magic work?
I think it's a 30-foot radius.
It's a 30-foot radius. Once it's cast, I'll probably do a little bit of a wander and look as if I'm checking up on people.
Yeah.
And it lasts a minute, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
I'll
just
do a
gonna.
very
I'm just
quick
gonna.
walk over.
Da.
I'll cross the room
You
if
sense
the
the
room's more
presence
than
of
30
magic.
feet.
If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. Spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone. Blah blah blah. Okay, cool.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna bring up the lineup again.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Do we all return to this room at this point?
Oh, you can if you like. Yes.
Hey.
Well,
I absolutely know what
let's
to do.
make
Ooh.
you smaller again.
Yeah, let's have Scoop do their thing
And
as well.
yes.
What does Scoot do?
Scoop want to do thing. One, I don't know, but Scoop want to do.
What did Scoop want to do?
I would like to pull Nate aside.
Okay.
Oh
Yes.
man,
It
why
was
y'all
the
have to hate on the
butler.
butler?
Is
Why is it the butler?
Cosmo, by any chance would I be able to like PM you with my plan?
Yeah, if you want to send me just through Discord.
All right, let me find
Have
you.
you?
Typical. The 2 criminals and the young master, the most trusting people in the party. The one law enforcement person.
Always go. It's like we literally have the like. We literally have an assassin.
You want to stab him?
You want to stab him? Nate, look at this boy.
Poor boy.
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah. So magic.
I'm half expecting Nate to go full Professor Quirrell. Like,
Oh, I'll be so upset if it's Nate because Miss Carter would have to do things, and I don't think she really wants to do things.
Fear not, I am also here and can do things.
Thank you. She'd probably be more upset though than anything if it ends up being
Alright.
Nate.
I have PM'd you my plan.
Okay.
I think I might know what your plan is, actually,
Yes.
seeing as we're in the ballroom.
He can do that.
Cool.
He's
that's
like,
what I would
have a
have been
ball?
doing
yeah, I can do
while
that.
they were interviewing the suspect.
I also like to believe that the band is still playing, the enchanted instruments just have not stopped.
No, they haven't.
They haven't.
It's just a really
like
jovial
music.
atmosphere.
Well, then
It's
I
all
could switch it back to the party music.
Dudes happily.
It's happening.
Yeah, there's
Aw.
Same song, okay.
Do 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 do.
In case anyone's wondering, the music that I've played so far has all been Kevin MacLeod, like
Yeah,
Yes.
stuff.
Hash. Woo woo.
I'm going back to Somber.
Dun 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 dun. Dramatics.
Yes.
Dramatics.
Basically, everyone here has at least one magic item on them, apart from the stuff.
Oh, come on.
They're all rich. They have various things, mostly sending stones.
But what school are they?
Well, that's it. So everyone seems to have some kind of stone on. Sending. What's
Sending's divination, isn't it? Or
Correct.
enchantment.
something like
It is the first.
Yeah, it is divination.
that? Yes. Whereas,
Communication.
yeah. Mr. Chien seems to have an extra stone. That's
Oh.
different.
my God.
It's a
Bastard.
an enchantment stone.
Hmm. Miss Cotta is going to be very, very sad right now. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Let's line up our ducks, shall we?
Yes. We shall.
So,
Is now a bad time to mention there's probably an enchantment aura on Janus as well.
with your magic item.
Turns over.
Yeah,
turns
but it's...
over. E.
Oh, that explains so much.
All right. I know who it is, or I know who's got it at least. Let's find out what's going to happen. I should leave this to the more eloquent of us. I am just the hilt, after all.
Well, what did you
Right.
find, just by happenstance?
There's an extra stone on... I turn over and I whisper. There's an extra stone on Mr. Chien. Bonnie's going to be so upset.
I don't
Always
look
knew that guy
mad.
was shifty.
I look disappointed.
Well, even if it isn't. Even if it isn't. And especially if potentially he's covering for someone else, I can only think of one other person he could cover for. And that's just as sad. Shall we?
Indeed.
I have an idea.
Yes.
If you ask him to turn out his pockets, of course he'll refuse, but with the help of Scoop, our investigator, he might willingly oblige.
Hmm.
If he doesn't pull out the stone, he's hiding it. And he knows about it. If he does, then it was planted on him.
A very clever plan, young Janus.
All right. Time to confront Mr. Chien.
All right, Janus, I'm trusting you. Can you please ensure that if he tries to run, he is stopped?
Okay.
All right.
I also have
Meander to the
door.
To an exit.
Samba your way.
Dun 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 dun.
All
All right. Somber music. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yep.
All right.
A shirtless orc, shirtless half orc stands in the middle of the room. with
Samba,
a
samba.
A samba. No.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests of this Sanguis Soirée, I
Sorry.
regret to inform you that within this very room, one of you is a murderer.
Dun dun dun. Gasps.
They all...
Mr. Chien,
Yes?
may I ask you to empty your pockets, please?
Sure. Everyone roll perception. As he
Can do.
empties his pockets.
Now, what is this?
Well,
thing?
I know how many he has on him as well.
Yeah.
So
So he pulls
Shit.
out his sending stone.
Shit.
And his
Oh.
wallet. And
That damn number.
what did you get?
I got a 15.
Oh, no. 5. I rolled a 18.
okay.
I got a 4.
Oh.
I'm pretending to examine the drapes, apparently, and doing a really good job of pretending.
The adrenaline wore off.
Oh no.
No.
And Mr. Chien, at this moment, if one were to check your other pockets, you assure me that there would be nothing in them. That is correct, sir, is it?
I mean, I have...
Be sure, have a quick look now.
I've got... he pulls out... he pulls out the stone. And he's like, I mean, I got this. It's just one of the things Malvoy was working on.
And why do you have it?
Because took it to the I was gonna show the Swift Silverworks to, give a demonstration. Business stuff.
May I roll insight?
Yes.
Now, yeah.
And
Fortunately, I already insight checked this guy, and I did bad.
So that's 26.
Yeah, this
Nice.
guy.
Rolls.
This guy is on the verge of tears almost. Like he's very barely holding it together.
You know what would have made when I was buying a bunch of mundane items? Would have been brilliant is to buy some shackles. Probably that didn't occur to me.
You can say yeah.
Let the party know, by the way.
Howard. Mr. Tien, sir.
Look,
I have a feeling.
he wasn't meant to die. And he just like collapses on his knees. He just needed to be sick, be sick and miss the deal so I could make the deal instead. Sell the Swift Silverworks and make money. He wanted to just give them away. He wanted to give them away as a gesture of faith to show stop slavery. It's such a... Oh.
I use encode thoughts.
Yep.
To conjure the image of conjure a miniature version of the image of a golem.
Yeah. Okay.
And I in front of him, and I go,
What?
I don't think that making someone that sick would have selling, making money. Money does not buy you happiness. You were happy.
No, but money buys me my
And-
kneecaps from that monster. Points
Looks
to the
over.
accountant.
I take it in stride.
Well, firstly, I don't think he's a monster.
It is one of my pronouns.
Oh, sorry. And secondly, I think there's someone else that you should be more worried about. And I look over to Bonnie.
She is like in tears, like about to break down. She does break
Because
down.
your
She
decisions.
just Lady Amberwood goes over and gives her a hug, but it's like, oh God, Bonnie, I mean, he just wouldn't listen. Oh, why? Wasn't meant to go like this. And he just... I'm sorry.
This, however, does leave us in a very unfortunate situation.
Yep.
As we cannot resolve this issue by doing nothing.
No.
Lord Amberwood dips forth and it's like, well, he confessed.
Yes.
We'll take him to court. Put him in front of the magistrate. We'll let justice be served.
Very much so. Scoop will step forward.
Hmm.
At this time, Chien, I am putting you into formal custody until such time as the guard can come and collect you from me. Please do not resist.
He just puts his hands up.
I tie his hands behind his back with some rope. And
I conveniently probably have rope on me.
and I ask if so, Sir Amberwood would not mind if he could inform the guard to come and collect this
Of
suspect.
course. I had already made the stone call earlier this evening, but as you know, the
Mid- yes.
we're a few hours away from Arc Point at this point. They will take their time to getting here. Shouldn't be too long now, though.
Right.
Surprised there's no guards on site.
Yeah, but that would be more NPCs that I'd have to voice and suspects.
Fair enough.
Can I look over to Mr. Big Boss?
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
What is his disposition at this time?
he's confused. Like he's just like he's not sure how to process this. Like, here is a man who's just killed his business partner for money, and even if it was an accident, like I think Jeffrey is processing. Could that happen to him? Would he do that in
Why
his
kill
position?
Jeffrey?
Like,
Does he want to find out?
was the deal he came here to be literally going to be an act of charity, and now that man is dead? Like, yeah, he's
Yikes.
having a lot of thoughts.
Our time.
Yeah.
I'd like to quickly approach him, just a little bit.
Oh, hello, good man. You
Did
seem
you
to
say hello and goodbye?
good man.
Oh, it's like hello, goodbye, and just leaves.
That's it.
fair.
He's out. He's gone.
You solved it. I can't believe Chien would do that.
Yes. Truly a tragic event. Mr. Big Boss, you put me in a very interesting position, according to my ethics and morals. For you see, on one hand, I find myself cool, calm, and collected very regularly. I like what I do, and I am fairly good at it. However, on the other hand, I find myself wanting to hurt you a lot.
I would rather you didn't.
That is very understandable for a man in your position. So I suppose what I will say, take this as a time for reflection upon your own life and your actions and that which you do in the world. And hope that if we ever do encounter one another again, that we see more eye to eye on a lot of things. But I do wish you a good evening, Mr. Big Boss. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I will consider your words. He sort of just sits down and stares at the floor for a bit.
Right.
How long till the guards?
Sorry.
I think we'll shall we wrap it
I
up
think
there?
we start wrapping
All
it
right,
up.
wrap it up. All right.
Alright.
I
Yeah.
do think Miss Cotta, before the guards will come, will take care of.
Yeah.
Bonnie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say my shirt.
Oh yes, no. After that's done, she's officially gone and cleaned that shirt because
Yeah.
there is no way in hell there is a messy shirt on this premises without her permission.
Let's not lie. That was the lingering plot thread. That was like, most important here.
She's been thinking about it the entire time. She's just like, at least it's mud. No blood. Oh, there's a tiny wee bit on this cup. Gets it nice and pristine. I probably have like an artificer equivalent of an iron press
Oh yeah.
and like an air dryer, just like all of the high-tech cleaning gear. Which is the other reason why she really likes working here. She's got gear to help. Needs it
That was the
gets
problem.
gets everything nice and folded and neat. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, this is rather big, and she like holds it against her. I'm assuming that it's like basically the same, a bit like huge on her.
Yeah,
Just like-
it'd be twice as wide as her, probably.
It's a blanket.
I could wear this as a robe. What the hell is this dude? All right.
Oh man, if it wasn't for the
she goes back
copyright
upstairs.
strike, I would totally play Careless Whisper right now.
Oh my god, it's the scene from Ghost.
Where's the what is it, the bardcore version?
We already have fan art for the ship. Anyway.
Yes.
Oh damn.
Yes. There's one in the thing. But anyway, let's wrap up before we show it off.
Yep.
Yes, I come back. I come over to the accountant and I'm like, your shirt's done. Here you are.
With surprising meticulousness, I inspect this shirt and find it very satisfactory.
I'm not
Of
gonna
course.
lie, I am actually quite impressed. I did notice that some of the threads on the upper left arm were thrown out of place. But you seem to have caught those as well.
Of course. I'm a maid. I'm very good at my job.
It kind of actually makes him like smile a little bit because it's very reflectionary of what he says to people.
Yeah.
And it's like I think she sees you smile, and then at the only time during this whole, it's just like, oh, he actually has a rather nice smile. No, you're. It's just like you should smile more often. It suits you. And then she goes over to check on Nate and all the other help, and well, like very much being like, no, you're on job, you're on working, no.
I
Advertise.
momentarily let my brain entertain a thought, and then quickly turn the other direction. I go towards the bar.
Okay. Lord
Oh,
Amberwood
slow down with the alcohol there.
walks up to Janus, the hand on his shoulder. Very proud of your son. Did good tonight.
Thank you, Father.
And he just pulls you into a hug.
Oh. the clank of metal with the pat on the back.
Yeah. Clank, clank.
Fine. Oh God.
Oh,
All right.
thank you.
Yeah. So, we'll leave it there.
Excellent.
Yes.
That was
Ooh,
brilliant.
I have one last bit I want to
Oh,
put in.
of course.
Put in.
Scoops, what is?
I would like to thank
Yes.
Nate for his assistance.
Oh.
Yes.
And thank you for that, helping me with that task.
No worries.
Ask him out for a drink.
Yeah.
Perhaps another time. But
I could go for
The
a
last-
drink. And he just
You know
the
it.
last thing
he
I'll
just
do,
takes the bottle from the accountant and twigs.
Oh, well, careful! That's a lot
Nate-
of drinking at once. You might want to slow down this. Fellas.
Nate, we've.
Yes.
Oh. I think that's how we should end it. No,
Yep.
it's perfect. We leave it there.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
leave it
it.
there.
That's done. Nail in the coffin.